you? I'm the Courtney Williams. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another live session with moi. So, today we're having a little bit of a chit chat about how to communicate maturely, or more specifically how I'm learning how to communicate more maturely, as well as I want to tell you guys about some of the things that I've been dealing with, like with my communication, and some things that I've been learning with my communication, as well as some things that kind of have been like, I guess, I'm not going to say just bothering me, but like, I mean, they definitely bothered me a little bit, but I don't know how to word that, but I'm basically, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you guys all of the tea. Um, my little sister just messaged me. That's a whole journey, but I want to give you guys a few seconds to hop on. I don't know what that little light is that's by my nose. I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to hop on, and then we gonna jump into the convo. So if you here, say hi, so I know who here with me. Dang, I should have got some water too, and I just got a piece of cake from this. I got a piece of cake from this little cafe. It's a cafe that I always like to go to. Hi, Tammy. Hey, love. I just got a piece of cake from this. Like, I did not think about this. I just was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go live. It's this topic that I want to talk about. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, y'all. I just was thinking like, oh, it's this little topic that I want to talk about, but it like totally slipped my mind that one, I got a delicious piece of cake downstairs that I really should have heated up and you know, brought along with me on this live journey, as well as I should have got some water. My mouth gonna be parched. Like, I literally just got this little swig of water. Look. I don't know what I was thinking about. I don't know what I was thinking about, girl. So yeah, y'all know I kind of think of myself as like, when it comes to communication, I think of myself as like learning how to communicate properly, because I just don't really feel like I got the fundamentals of how to communicate properly with people based off of like how I grew up, you know, just moving from house to house. I just don't think that that built a solid structure. And granted, if things are cool, you know, if the vibe is good, communication always is a lot smoother for me, because I'm just like a real chill, laid back type of person. But my communication issues always arise when issues arise, you know, either like voicing my problem or dealing with a conflict, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of times when I was growing up in CPS, oftentimes when a conflict happened in a foster home, it would just be like, oh, you're an issue now, so we're gonna move you to another house. So it was never really like a moment where I learned like those conflict resolution skills, you know what I mean? Where, okay, something has been done that should not be done. Let's sit down and talk about it. This is how we're gonna address it. And you know, outside of being beat or something, you know what I mean? Because of course, I feel like there was conflict in my birth home before I went into CPS, but I even feel like even then, like, it was moments where, girl, my mama would just drop me off at a mental institute, try to act like I was crazy and I wasn't, you know, or just pushing me to different places. So it never really was like a moment to really learn like, okay, there's a conflict. Now we understand this is not something that should be done, but also just understanding that process of like how to properly address a conflict. You know, like my mom is very much so a, she a little petty, I can't lie. She just a little bit petty, and she will block you, like real shit. Like, I think that is part of where I get this style of communicating from as well. Cause like, I will block people as well. Like, if I get to a point where I don't want to be around someone, are like there's an issue, and I just, like I have been known notoriously for blocking the fuck out of people. However, as I have grown, I wouldn't say that blocking people is unnecessary, because I do think that sometimes when you don't grow up in my type of situation, and you may feel more tied to your family, sometimes you put up with a lot more things. Sometimes, or I've been noticing with some people, it's hard for them to pull away from people, whereas for me, I don't have that problem. However, I think when I went to college, I started kind of addressing my process of blocking people, because I just was feeling like I just felt like a deeper need to understand why I was blocking people, and if it was really necessary. And what I gathered by the end of my self-reflection was that sometimes blocking people is absolutely necessary. A conversation isn't always needed. Sometimes it is. I just feel like you have to kind of gauge it, of like, you know, is this a friendship or something that you want to save? And is this somebody who would be open to hearing what you have to say? Because I'm so against having petty ass arguments. I'm like, I don't have time. Like, I'm not finna go back and argue with you. Like, that's just not my style. But I'm very much more mindful about how I cut people off. Like, if I feel like that is necessary. Like, I'm not just cutting people off like girl, when I was in high school, when I was younger, oh, I was not playing games, yo. Like, but I think it was a lot more, I don't know, I'm not going to say a lot more malicious, but basically there was some growth that needed to happen there with how I was cutting people off, because it's just like, okay, I don't like that, nope, like I'm not messing with that. Somebody else messaged me. But when I got older, I realized like now it's more of an energy thing for me. Like, energy wise, if I'm around you and you're draining my energy, or if I'm around you and I just, if it's like an energetic thing where I'm just not feeling the energy, first of all, I will now tell you. I will tell people, like, literally, somebody texted me today. This guy texted me today, and he was like asking me what I was doing. Like, he's a local expat who low key was trying to talk to me, and I just like, some about his energy just ain't fucking right. Like, some about, it's a couple of different things that have come to my attention, as well as a bunch of things that I've observed. And I just personally don't believe in being around people just because they're black or just because we all expats. Like, after that moment in Vietnam, because I very much so think that's how, like, y'all know, Vietnam was the first country where I really got really immersed in the expat community. And so after that moment, I just realized, like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not a group person anyway. It's like, I can be in the group, but I'm also a solo dolo type of person. Like, I don't have like, I am perfectly fine in my skin. I have no problem being alone. Like, I actually like my alone time. Like, sometimes I need a moment of just silence and just me and my thoughts and Jesus and God and the universe and my angel team, like, figuring my shit out. So I have no problem with going either way. Like, I'm just real chill, but I just feel like when things start to get staticky is when it becomes a problem for me, because it's really like me looking at this person or these people, like, what type of energy are you bringing me? And I personally feel like you are in control of your universe. Like, I know in this world, a lot of times society makes it seem like, oh, you're being selfish if you think you have your own little universe, or this little saying that people always say, like, what, you think the world revolves around you? Hell yeah. Like, not the whole world, but this little world that I'm living in over here, like, my day to day and the energy that's circulating around me is my little world, and I control the energy that is flowing in and out. So if you flowing to me and you bringing me negativity, like, I personally am getting to a point where I'm realizing how sensitive I am as well, like on the energy level, but as well as like emotional. Like y'all know, sometimes my emotions be like real sensitive, but I just feel like I'm just really mindful about the people, because not really just the people, but just mindful about the energy, because I just don't want to be around negative ass energy. Like, it's hella draining. It's draining, and I want to be around people who are uplifting me, and people who I can uplift, and people who are on a high vibration. Girl, I feel like I'm finna butcher your name. Let me see. Rock, rock, Yesha, rock Yesha. Did I say that right, girl? Let me know if I said it right. I love my alone time too. Hello, like, girl, I'm such a introvert extrovert. Like, I have both. Like, I tell you guys all the time, like, I'm hella outgoing. Like, I could literally talk to anybody. I think I get that from my dad's side of the family, because as I've been able to spend more time with them, like, y'all know, when I went home in December, I hung out with my dad's side of the family. Right before I left the country about 4 years ago, we went to a family reunion, and I just was like, oh my God, this is where I get this side of my personality from. Because my dad, girl, my dad can talk to fucking anybody. Like, he's a DJ, but like, he's always like, even when I lived with him for a little bit when I was younger, like the few memories that I remember of like my childhood being around him, I remember him always being social. But now that I'm older and I'm in my adulthood and hanging out with him at different points, and even talking to him at different points, because I still call him quite frequently now, I just realized I get my personality definitely from that side of the family. Like, my personality comes from them. So I have this outgoing side, and literally it's just like what y'all get on this video. This is me. This is how I am, like, raw, uncut, genuine, authentic, and just, good vibes. Like, I'm just like, I want to have a good time. You know what I mean? However, I do have shy tendencies, and it's a couple of things that happened recently, so we're gonna get into that as well. But particularly with this particular guy recently, like, he actually messaged me today, and he was like, now it's such a whole little story within itself. I don't really want to go into the whole story, but long story short, he kind of was trying to talk to me or showing some interest, but then he also was playing some games. But then his energy was fucking bad, y'all. Basically, in a nutshell, his energy was fucking bad. Like, it's like something's going on with his energy, and it's like I can sense it. And I wasn't the only one that could sense it. Another person who I consider to be a spiritual guide also sensed it. And I was like, and sometimes when you're getting messages from your spirit team, it may come in a picture, it may come in a scent of smelling something and having a reminiscing type of moment, it may come in deja vu, it may come in chills. And I've been noticing, like, I've just really been in tune with myself more and more and more and more. It's like I'm definitely becoming stronger in my spiritual realm. And what I've been noticing I've been getting a lot of chills, like energetic chills lately. And I remember having a reflective moment about this particular guy, and I was getting these chills just as like I felt like they were just confirmation, like, nah. And I don't know, like, I just feel like when your spirit is telling you things, like, if you feel like you need to stay away from somebody, or if you feeling a certain way about somebody, like, you need to listen to yourself. So all this time, like, and he was also trying to play the field with like one of my friends. Like, it just was a big ass no. And he's had my number for a minute, because we are all in like this, it's a small little expat group as well that's here. But y'all know, knowing what happened in Vietnam, it's like somebody added me to this group, and I just put that bitch on mute. Like, I haven't even been in the group, y'all, on some real shit. Like, I literally may hop in, like, if I happen to be on my WhatsApp and I see that it's a bunch of little messages, and I might see a little screenshot of like one sentence, I'm like, oh, okay, what's that? But like, really just being up in this group, like, I never say anything in this damn group, okay? Like, I'm just really against being in the group, in the expat group. I'm just like, no, I can't. Like after Vietnam, I just can't. Like I can't. So he messaged me today, and he just was like, he was like, oh, what you doing today and what you doing on Saturday? Basically trying to hang out with me all of a sudden. And I just told him straight up, I was like, I'm not feeling your energy, and I don't want to be around your energy or whatever else you throwing out. So I'm gonna be in my skin, minding my own business. That's where I'm gonna be. Okay, so that doesn't involve you, basically. And I literally said it just like that. And he did message me back. He tried to be slick with it, like, oh, he said some shit about, he was like, that's interesting, and then put a little emoji hand or something. I just deleted it because I don't have time. It's like, I don't have time for the pettiness. Like, I don't. I've said what I said, and I really, like, on some real shit, y'all, how, like, his energy is so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me because I want to tell you guys something that I found out, but I just don't feel like it's appropriate. So I'm not going to tell you. However, I found some shit out, and that even more confirmed my feelings on a spiritual level of like, something ain't right with him. Something is not right with his energy. And literally the night that I found this shit out, I was saying to my spirit team, like, don't let our paths cross no more. Amen. Okay? Like, I don't want to be in his path. Like, whatever he's doing, it seems like some lower vibrational shit, and I don't want to be a part of it. I don't, like, I'm really, like, I don't like to be in shit. Like, this is like what it really boils down to. Like, if I happen to end up in a situation just like whatever, that's one thing. But intentionally walking down a path when I see red flags, that's just not some shit that I'm willing to do. That's just not some shit that I'm willing to do. Like, I'm not finna be like ride or die on some like, you doing stupid shit, you doing shady shit, you doing like some low vibrational shit. Like, eventually that shit gonna catch up with you, and I don't want to be around or a part of that energetic field. Like, I don't. So what has been most important for me lately with my communication, or just really this year, it has been very important for me to express to people how I'm feeling, you know. And I think this is key, because I feel like a lot of times what happens with a lot of different people is, hey Tay Tay, so glad y'all here. Jay just actually messaged me too. Y'all know my boo, dear Jay Renee. She just messaged me too. I'm gonna text her when I get off of this. But it's been really important for me to speak up and say, like, what the fuck is bothering me, because I feel like a lot of times in our society, we don't say in the moment, you are bothering me, or this that you're doing is not working for me, or I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, just simply be like, you have done something that I don't like, and being okay or secure enough to say it in that moment, because I think it's vital. Like, correcting somebody's behavior in that moment is vital. And when that doesn't happen, y'all know how this goes. It's like you kind of internalize it a bit. You may reprocess that moment in your head, thinking about like what I could have said, how I could have handled this differently, and then you may end up talking about it to other people or whatever, if that's your flow, because I mean that is some people's flow. And all of that is doing is just recurring all of these negative thoughts and this low vibrational energy. So it's just like, you got to get it off your chest. Like, I guess for me, I'm just not in a place where I want to hold anybody's energy. Like, I don't want to hold it, you know. I don't want to hold it. And I just feel like if there's something being done that I don't like, I feel like I need to tell you. You're not gonna know that I don't like it, and you're not gonna know not to do it again if I don't express it to you that this has bothered me. So I have been speaking up a lot more. Tay Tay said, can you just say you are looking fab? You losing weight? Thank you, Tay Tay. Actually, I agree. I do feel like I'm losing weight. I was actually having a moment today with this little jumper. I bought this jumper in Colombia, and it already feel a little loose. It definitely. I was wearing it today, and I was like, "Oh, damn, bitch, you can." Oh. And I passed the mirror, girl, and I was having a moment in the mirror. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I agree. What's been going on is that I've been drinking hella amounts of water. Like, I've completely cut out sodas. Like, I pretty much, I think I had like one soda since I've been in Salvador, and I've been in Salvador for 2 months so far. So I haven't, like, literally out of the 2 months that I've been here, I've only had one soda. And I've been drinking nothing but water. I've had some fresh juices a few times. Like, they have some local exotic fruit here, and they make fresh juice out of it. So I've been having like some fresh juices, like very rarely, but like a few. But really, y'all, I've been drinking hella amounts of water. And y'all know I've been doing the Afro Brazilian class, so I'm actually gonna post this video for y'all. Yes. So that video is I'm going to post it for you guys tomorrow, but it's gonna be like one of the travel moments, because y'all know I've been doing travel moments more frequently lately because I don't have my computer fixed yet. So I'm just still trying to keep y'all in the loop of what's going on. But honey, I be working the fuck out in this Afro Brazilian class. Like, literally every time that I go to this class, I leave this class like dripping in sweat. So I think that that is a big thing about it as well. But as of now, I've only been going to this class like once a week. And I've just been walking a lot. Like, pretty much I walk almost everywhere. A few times I'll take a Uber depending on how far it is, but for the most part I be walking. I be drinking a lot of water, and I be hitting this Afro dance class up. And I've been hula hooping a lot. So that, I definitely think I'm losing weight here, but I'm here for it. Hearts that is here. Hey, love. Tay Tay says, well, I'm trying to read and I can't read. Well, it's working for you. Keep it up. I'm sure the mental clarity is contributing as well. Yes, yes, yes. I just feel like, well, y'all know I kind of went vegan for the spiritual retreat. We was only eating vegan food, so I think that kind of propelled me into a healthier way of eating as well, which I'm not gonna say always, but since I've been traveling, my style of eating has definitely been way more healthier. Like, I kind of feel like I'm on a balanced type of scale where I really don't cook meat that much. Like, I did just make a meat dish like last week, but I'm really not cooking meat as much. I'm really cooking more veggies at home. I'm really eating like my breakfast, I always eat at home, like oatmeal with like peanut butter, granola, and fruit and things like that. But it's interesting as well because I don't know if you guys saw this article recently on Facebook. It was about, oh my god, it really hit my spirit on a deep level last night. It was just so fascinating how it popped up, because I turned my phone on, I think, to look at something. I can't remember if it was to look at my calendar or to pull up a website, but Facebook popped up, and I wasn't like, that was not my intention to go to Facebook, but Facebook popped up, and I don't even remember touching it. So I felt like this was on some spiritual shit, because it's like those little coincidences are not coincidences. Like, what you are meant to see at a given time will show up to your eyes, you know what I mean? And those are ways that I feel like your angels and your spirit team are trying to communicate and get different messages across to you. So when Facebook popped up, and I remember so vividly last night because I knew that was not what I was going to, and that was not what my hand pushed. So I was just like, oh, Facebook, okay. And the first thing that popped up was this article about this bull recently. I guess y'all know how they have the bullfighters, so it was a bull Basically, he was real bloody. I didn't even read the article because I really cannot, like, I'm the type of person, like, I just really think my spirit is real sensitive. Like, I'm not gonna say that I can just feel this energy, but like, it's really like I can feel this energy, and I really avoid shit that makes me feel low. Like, I can't watch scary movies. Like, I can't fuck with none of that. I don't like seeing cruelty. I don't like seeing videos of people fighting, people suffering, like, all of that. Like, I just try to avoid it because it's almost like I could just, it brings me to a different place, and I don't like it. So this article pops up, and it's of this bull who was bloody. I think they were in the ring, and not in the ring, but y'all know, in the little, in the whatever, the arena, or whatever the little place is called. And I'm assuming from the what I saw from the initial article was like, he was with a bullfighter. He was about to die. He was bloody, this particular bull, and he started crying. And the bullfighter wiped his tears and then proceeded to kill him. And I don't know why this was so. I don't know why this hit my spirit so hard, but it was like I literally couldn't even, like, I couldn't even read that article. I couldn't even click on it. Like, I just literally saw that first, like, the headline, and I was like, oh fuck no, and I had to close it. But it really stuck with me. Like, going to sleep last night, it just was like really heavy on my spirit, and I even like went to sleep with like a 8-hour affirmation on in the background, just to kind of get my mind in a good place. And then I remember waking up, and I was like, it was almost like that heavy feeling was still with me. And I was like, what happened last night that was so heavy? Like, because I woke up this morning almost feeling like it was a dream. And then after I kind of woke up a little bit more, and I was like, what was happening that was so heavy like that? And then I remembered that it was that article. And I really think that's what's happening, is that eventually I'm probably going to be vegan, guys, or I'm going to not be eating meat. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, but I believe that my spiritual journey is leading me towards a meatless life. So, yeah. But we gonna see. I'm just literally walking my journey. So, listening and going with the flow. Yes, I made it to an actual life. Hey, love. Can't wait to see tomorrow's video. I need to step up my juice workout game. By the way, your skin is glowing. Thank you. Everybody's been saying this. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this water game is real. Like, literally, I've been drinking big ass bottles of water. And y'all, I just do a simple routine for my face. Like, literally, I use Cetaphil in the morning. I clean my face. I use this rose water toner spray, and I do a little moisturizer. That's it. Like, real simple. Real simple. Tay Tay, Courtney, I spoke to you before about teaching abroad to finance my travels. How is the pay in North America? I'm not teaching in well, wait. This is South America. I don't know how to. The North America is the USA. South America, where I'm at now, Latin America, I came here knowing that the pay wasn't great. So I had no intention of teaching in this place. Like, granted, I love teaching kindergarten kids, okay? Like, girl. Like, if I had a career path, like, if I didn't want to be a boss, okay? If I didn't want to live my life freely, and if I didn't want to, if I didn't have all these things in my head that need to come to fruition, and I wanted to just make some little money and teach somebody, and that was a career path that I really wanted to go down, because it ain't. But I did have to question my career path a couple of times when I was teaching the kindergarten kids, because I truly love them, and I truly love working with them, and I just love their energy. Because kids, like, granted, like, the little babies for kindergarten, which are normally like 3, 4, and 5, sometimes they can be a handful, but it's just like, you just have to know how to balance out that energy. Like, you got to be clear about what you require. But if you're clear about, like, what the classroom rules are, and you're repetitive about it, and then you just have fun. Like, they'll know what's up. They'll know what's up. Like, literally in my little kindergarten class, like, I just have to look at them, or I count, like, baby, don't let me get to one. Don't let me get to one, and they already know. But literally, we would just be like having a good ass time, dancing and singing, coloring, learning our alphabets. So I love, love, love teaching them. However, comma, that is not the career path. Like, I started teaching to fund my travels. So it wasn't something that I'm like, in 10 years, this is what I want to be doing. So personally, I don't see myself teaching English in any country where the money is less than what I was making in Vietnam. This is why I never taught in Thailand after, like, when I left Thailand and I started teaching in other places, I always would say I would never go back to Thailand and teach for $1,000. Like, why go to a place and teach for a little bit of nothing when you can go to a place and get paid regular, like, really good. You know what I mean? And South America is that type of place. Like, all the research that I've done about South America, teaching in South America, is that the pay isn't good. Like, you normally get about $500 to teach a month, and that is like just enough for you to cover your expenses. And I personally don't see myself taking away from my true life purpose to waste my time teaching just to live. Like, unless I'm teaching to save some money and I can put some money to the side, like, I don't really see a point. So I never wanted to teach here. Like, I knew this was part of my reason, like, why I started in Asia, because Asia is hella cheap. Okay, like, Asia is a hella cheap continent as far as cost of living goes. Like, you can live exceptionally well for the little of nothing. Okay, and there are opportunities for you to make a lot of money. Like, granted, I feel like now I needed a break from Vietnam. However, Vietnam still is the top place for me in Southeast Asia as far as teaching goes. Like, the cost of living coupled with how much they pay their teachers, it just works. And the way that they have the schools set up, because, like, if you really about your hustle and you really about getting your money, you can literally go to Asia and go to Vietnam particularly and stack. Okay, and stack, because you can work at a public school or a private school during the day, then you can do a little night center during the evenings, because public and private schools, their hours are normally from like 7 or 8 to about 3 or 4, and you do still have like teaching hours. Like, granted, your teaching hours are about 18 hours of that time. Even though you're at school all that time, you will have office hour times, unless you're working at a kindergarten school, then it's a little bit of a different setup. But then you could also have a center gig, where the centers, they only go to school between 5 p.m. and 9, because the kids are coming like after their regular school hours, and then they have weekend hours as well, but it's still about 18 hours. They just eliminate the office hours. So you can be getting paid like $2,000 at least, like, really, depending on what your experience is, depending on what type of center, like how high the caliber is of the center and the school, will depend on what the pay scale will be. But at the very least, like, pretty much everybody was making about $1,800 at any given place. Like, that was pretty much the standard. So $1,800 at one center, and then you could be working a public school and getting $1,800 there. Now, granted, you're gonna be tired, but if you by getting that money, you can get it. And then it's like, cost of living in Vietnam is so fucking cheap. Like, you can really stack. Now, on the flip side, there's also China. However, China is a lot more difficult to get on. Like, I was about to go to China next after Vietnam, so I started that hiring process. I just didn't follow through with it, because they wanted me to go all the way back to America in order to get my background check. Like, I couldn't get any of my paperwork sent to me, or any of my paperwork like emailed to me, or anything. Like, they are very strict about how the paperwork needs to be given to them. So I had to go all the way back, and I was like, y'all doing a little bit too much for me. And it's just like, working in China, it's like, I've heard that it can also be a lot sometimes. Like, sometimes they try to overwork you, as well as like being in Vietnam, like, for the most part, it's a pretty simple job setup. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty laid back, pretty simple. Vietnamese people pretty cool. You get your check, and cost of living is like really cheap. So I can't lie. I might do it again. Like I, I'm not gonna say I might do it again, but if I needed to do it again, I would. However, I'm working towards bringing my things into fruition so that I won't have to do that again. However, backup plan. Amen, amen. Now, Korea also is a place, but Korea and China, they pay really well. Both of them take a lot more effort for the hiring process. That's the only thing that I have to say about it. Like, you can get the money, but it takes a lot more effort for their hiring process, and sometimes they overwork you. Like, I've heard of a lot of teachers going to China as well as going to Korea and then breaking their contracts or leaving on the midnight train because it just was too like it just was too much going on, you know? So ideally, the best place if you're about getting that money is Vietnam. Simple as put. But for me, before my computer got messed up, I was teaching with VIP Kid, which I'm still with VIP Kid. I still get some checks from VIP Kid because VIP Kid has a lot of benefits. So they do different type of incentives each month. So like this month, one of their incentives is like open up certain time slots because they're trying to get more kids booked during peak hours. Peak hours are like the hours where the most kids will be available to take classes. So they're basically giving free money away just to open up certain slots. So granted, even though they haven't booked me because I don't have a computer available right now, I'm still gonna get a little coin from them because I have those slots open. So I've been receiving some money from them even though I haven't been working. So like them and then also italki uses Skype. So I would say if you wanted to, you could also come to South America and do a couple of different English teaching companies online and still get regular pay instead of trying to come here and live, you know what I mean, wasting time, giving these schools all your time for a little bit of nothing. Like I just can't do it. And I knew specifically, like, if I'm leaving Asia and I'm not gonna be teaching in Asia, I need to be moving forward with better financial setup. So that was my thought process behind that. So it's real strategic about how I'm moving forward and why it's like, this is the reason why I haven't hit Europe yet. I know Europe is a little bit more expensive and it's more things that I need to build. It's more things that I need to secure in my finances. It's just like I've gotten a little bit better with my finances at this point to secure myself a bit. So it's like, okay, step B and C done. Let's do this. Okay, one step D and E done, then I'll be more comfortable to go to other places like Africa or Europe and things like that. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Yes, join the team. Tay Tay says, quite honestly, you don't need meat in your diet. Articles recently show you shouldn't have more than 2 to 3 helpings a week. It gives your digestive system time to reboot. Now, I know this, Tay Tay. I know this. I know that, like, we don't need meat. You know what I mean? Like, I know that these people trying to kill us through our food, okay? However, I'm from Texas, okay? I'm a Texas girl. We eat a lot of meat. So, me and my spirit team had a moment because even, like, my vegan friends, this used to irritate me so much with them. I just kind of feel like I just don't like to be forced. I don't want to be forced. Like, how I grew up, it was always like an issue with food where, like, when I was living in my mom's house, she used to try to starve my ass. And then, I'll always just kind of like not being able to eat what I want or people trying to restrict my food. So this is like really, I think it's a spiritual thing and some childhood things that are happening as well with the way that I process food. But I really don't like, it's like I'm very aware. Basically, I'm aware that eventually I will be meatless, but at the same time I know that's going to be a process for me because I don't think I'm at the point where I can completely give it up yet. Like I feel like there has been less and less in my diet, but still I'm not completely there yet. And I just feel like I want to walk my journey to wherever that leads in peace. You know what I mean? Like I don't like. I think this is my thing about the vegans. Okay, the vegan community sometimes can be very in your goddamn face. And it's like, I don't need you to be telling me that what the fuck I'm eating is cow puss. And I don't need to be hearing like all this nasty ass shit about my food that I'm finna eat. Like, you have decided the way that you want to eat. That's cool. Now let me decide the way that I want to eat. Let me walk my own journey. You know what I mean? So sometimes that was an issue, because even I remember at one time, me and the vegans, y'all remember the vegan trap queens? Like, we were really cool. And like, part of that process of me kind of like pulling away from them is like when we all knew we were coming to South America. And I remember when we were talking about it, because of course if you move to a place with your friends, automatically you kind of like, oh, let's all stay together. And I don't think that's always the best idea. Amen? It's not. Okay? This is how friendships get fucking ruined. Okay? So when we were thinking about living together, I remember we had a moment, and they were, because obviously they're vegan, and they were saying, they basically told me, basically they was like, well, what you gonna do about food, because we don't bring food in the house. And I just kind of felt a problem, because it's like, how you gonna tell a grown person who is going to be paying rent somewhere what kind of food they can't bring in the house? Like, that shit ain't cool. And I just knew off bat. I was like, nah, fuck that. We can't live together, because I don't like that type of shit. Like, it's just, I can't be restricted by others in my food process. Like, that's a big ass no for me. And it's just a little bit triggering for me because of how I grew up. You know, like, I have been in several households where people try to body shame me and restrict my food in various ways, trying to be malicious to me. So that's just something that, you know, as an adult, it's like I can't get jiggy with. So yeah. Damn, I went off on a little tangent. Excuse me, I'm in South America. Are you in South America? Don't worry, I caught it. Facts, I'm in South Korea now and saving coins while my current employer is paying for me to complete my degree online. You better get it. Hello. Good info. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yes, you better get it. I mean, like, I recently was talking to somebody who said that they wanted to come here. And I just personally don't believe in wasting your damn time. Like, if you gonna work for somebody and you gonna waste time, like, I'm not gonna say it's wasting time, but it's like, time is the only thing that you cannot get back. It's the only thing that you cannot get back. And I understand this whole movement of some people kind of like thinking about it like, it ain't about the money, and I just want to experience this country and all that kind of thing. It's always about the goddamn money. Let's start there. It's always about the money. Like, you still gotta eat. You still gotta eat. You know what I mean? And it's not fun being in a country and working all of these hours, because trust me, this is how I did it in Thailand. Okay, I love Thailand, right? I love Thailand. Thailand is like one of my favorite countries in Southeast Asia. The culture there, the food there, like, it has such a nice balance for people who are not from there, but also where you can get your own comforts of home, but also get the experience and culture of Thailand. However, it is not fun to live in a country and be living paycheck to paycheck. Like, it's not fun. It is not fun to be living in a country and only making enough money to cover your expenses. Like, obviously you're coming to travel so that you can experience things. You know what I mean? And tours cost money. Experience it. Like, granted, it's some free activities that you can do, yes, but like, some of the real dope ass shit costs money. It costs money. It costs money, girl. So I just can't recommend that for people. Like, I always tell people when they reach out to me, because people be reaching out to me all the time about like how to teach English and support themselves with traveling, and it's just like, it's not fun to be living paycheck to paycheck in a country and you're exchanging all of your goddamn time. It's just not fun. So if this is not your career path, I highly suggest that you start first in a country that is less expensive. Like, it's like South America ain't cheap, honey. Like, South America is not cheap. It's like, granted, Salvador is not that expensive. Like, the apartment that I'm in, this ain't even an apartment, this is a room. This room is like $200. If I can find something more local when I come back, like, I've heard of like some of my other friends who have lived here for like some years. Like, I got some connections now, so I feel like I'll be able to find something cheaper or something bigger for the money that I'm spending. But Salvador isn't too expensive. But the flights around this bitch is high. Like, Colombia, every single month I was in Colombia, I went over my goddamn budget, okay? Every single month. And it was very unintentional because I was being real mindful. Like, I was checking my balance. I was writing down everything that I was spending. But it still was just like every month I was just going over my budget. And even like the flights here are expensive, y'all. Like, getting to Colombia, that one-way ticket wasn't bad. Like, I want to say my first ticket was $138. But remember, I missed my flight and I had to rebook my flight. The second ticket was $188, but that was like on the day of. But like, flying around in Colombia wasn't too bad. Like, getting from like Medellin to Cali, or Cali to Cartagena, such and such, or to Bogota, like, it wasn't too much to fly within Colombia. But once you start hopping around in South America, like from Colombia to, let's say, Bolivia or Peru or all of these different little places, like, flights get expensive quick because they're not cheap, boo. Like, literally, y'all already know, like, I flew from Colombia to Salvador. That ticket was $470 one way. And even when one of my friends from the retreat, when she came here, she flew from America. Her flight to Salvador was $1,600 round trip. So you got to come here with your money a little bit more secured. I wouldn't say this is the place you want to run out of money. Like, y'all know, I ran out of money a couple of times in Southeast Asia, and I was good. Like, really, I was good. Okay, now granted, I also have a lot of survival skills as well because I grew up in CPS, so I know how to make some pennies work. Okay, I know how to pull some things together. And even I can't lie, I did run out of money here. Like, recently, my funds got hell, like, my bank account got to zero. Like, literally, for the last, I want to say, 3 days, I was waiting for a deposit to come. And so for like 3 days, I didn't have money. But I wouldn't really consider that like technically running out because I was expecting another deposit to come. However, I feel like the times that I ran out of money in Asia is like I didn't know how money was coming to me. Like, I had no plan. I had nothing, like, I had nothing that I knew was coming to me. You know what I mean? It was, so if you don't have all the money in the world, I'd highly suggest you start in a place that is a lot cheaper with a lot more opportunities, because Vietnam is like, it's so many jobs. Like, as long as you come in there with your degree, you don't even gotta have no experience. Like, if you just come in there with a degree, they're like, we gonna figure everything else out. Come on, let me give you this job. You know what I mean? Like, you can get some things worked out. Like, it's a lot of opportunities there. But this is part of the reason, of my journey, because it's like, it doesn't make sense to start in a country that's more expensive than you can afford, or that's wet, like, it just doesn't make sense because you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to have fun. You're really not going to be doing nothing. You might just be walking around. Like, it's not going to be fun, sis. It's not going to be fun. If you ain't got the funds all the way yet, Like, I just don't recommend coming to a country to say, oh, I'm a teacher so I could be in the country, but then you're not making the money and you're exchanging all of your energy and your time, because teaching takes a lot out of you. Like, when you start teaching English, it's like, even now, like, I've had this moment with myself, but a lot of my friends who are still teaching in different parts of Asia, like, even them, sometimes they, like, we talk, you know, because I be checking in with them to see, like, how they doing, what's up, you know. And all of us are pretty much creatives. Like, we either have YouTube channels, podcasts, some type of outlet to get our creative juices out to the world and get our messages out to you guys. And all of us are still figuring out what our balance is, you know, because you start working a job and you automatically, like, you gonna get tired at points. There's gonna be times where you like, shit, I don't feel like doing shit today. And it's like, that motivation to keep you doing it is gonna be like, am I making the money that I believe I deserve to be making while I'm over here not working in my dream? Because even, like, y'all remember, I got so depressed at different points. I got so depressed at different points because I'm just like, I'm not working in, like, I'm not doing makeup, I'm not doing what I came here to do. But at the end of the day, I was making strides with my finances. So yes, honey, yes. I see we got a new crystal necklace. It's beautiful. This one isn't new, but thank you, thank you, thank you for anybody who's curious about it. This one isn't new. I bought this one a little bit after I got the other one that got stolen. But y'all see I'm in the house. Hello. We don't wear necklaces out in Salvador anymore. But I really like this one because when I went to the ayahuasca, I got this one charged at that ceremony. So yeah, go to Asia, work for 6 months to a year, and then move forward. If you feel like if you're really drawn to South America, but you don't really have the funds, just go to Asia. Like, a year goes by quick, 6 months goes by quick. Go there and literally stack your money and then leave. And then, you know, you'll be in a better situation, but at the same time, you'll still be traveling because there's a lot of places you can hop to for the low. Like, literally hopping around in Southeast Asia from one country to another, girl, like, them flights be cheap, okay? Like, if you fly from Thailand to Malaysia, you can get a flight for like $25, $40, $30, $50, depending on, like, if you book it like the day of, you might have to pay like $100 for that whole. But if you book it like a good, like, week at least away, you can get it for cheap. Like, sometimes $30. Like, in Malaysia, it's a couple of places where it only costs $16 to get from, like, other cities. Like, it's hella cheap. It's hella cheap. But don't let me, you know, decide it for you, because I know at the end of the day, sometimes your spirit may be leading you to do one thing, so you should listen. I'm just giving some advice. Take it as you see fit, okay? Hey, Alice, how are you, love? Hey, girl. Hey, girl. So yeah, let's get back to our original topic about how to communicate maturely and how I'm learning to communicate maturely. So my biggest thing is expressing myself, being clear about what is bothering me and not holding it, you know. Now, I have had a couple of moments where that was hard for me. I had an incident where I just feel like it's just been like a learning process because I feel like we have went on a tangent. But it's okay. I don't mind you guys asking questions. I don't mind. But I had to refigure my thoughts. So a couple of things happened recently as far as communication goes that really made me want to do this video. So for one, having this moment of like realizing I have to be really clear with people and really upfront and really straightforward about how I feel, you know, and letting them know, because that sometimes is not always the easiest for me. Like, I'm not a person that likes conflict. Like, conflict really makes me nervous, you know what I mean? Because it's so interesting, because recently somebody told me that I'm a what do you call those people who, like, in the moment they could just be saying shit, and then, you know, you be like in the conversation, and then after the fact you gotta process and think, and then you like, oh shit, I should have said this. You know, like the people who can say everything that they're thinking right then. What, I don't know what's the proper name for those type of people. Those like right off the rip type of people. Somebody recently told me that they thought that I was that type of person, and that really blew my mind because I've never been that type of person. Okay, like I've always kind of been a little nervous about conflict because I know that I have to, it takes me time to process things, you know, like sometimes I do need to come back, breathe, think about the situation, process how I'm feeling, think about what I want to say, and then come and address it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that the situation needs that. However, recently I've just not been holding my tongue. That's really what it is. And I think just people be trying to switch it around and make it seem like it's something else. Let me turn this fan. You know, sometimes people be trying to make it, switch things around and make it seem like you being straightforward is something else. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you got to be careful about not taking on that energy as well, and just being true to yourself and saying, look, this bothers me, and if we gonna be friends, I need to let you know that this bothers me, because if I don't let you know that it bothers me, you gonna do it again. And if you do it again without me telling you, then you're going to think it's all right, and it's not okay. And then it's just going to be building up. But if I do tell you that it's bothering me, and then you do it again intentionally knowing that it's bothering me, then you can't feel upset if I cut your ass off. Like, you can't be upset. And I'm not going to feel bad. You know what I mean? But, a couple of things happened. So I had a character building opportunity recently at a restaurant. So I'm gonna tell you a couple of different stories that have happened about my communication, and then we're gonna wrap all of this, bring it full circle. Okay, so for my ayahuasca experience, y'all know y'all don't know because I ain't put this video out yet because I can't get it off of my phone. Well, not off my phone. I recorded a video for you guys of my ayahuasca experience. Anybody who does not know what ayahuasca is, it's a spiritual, I'm not going to say it's a ritual, but it's a spiritual journey that you take. It's a spiritual drink. Like, most of the time it comes in a tea, or sometimes it just comes in like a little shot. How I took it was like a little shot. It comes from this poisonous plant in the Amazon of South America. Like, sometimes you can find it in Peru, but it really started in Brazil, in the Amazon of Brazil. So this plant is like really poisonous, and the best way that I could explain it is kind of like you going on a trip, you know. Like, granted, I have not done any drugs. Like, only thing I believe in is smoking weed. I believe that's a spiritual herb sent from the universe. So yes, I believe in smoking some weed, but like, I'm not even a big drinker, y'all. Like, I can't even, like, I used to drink a lot in college, but like, that was really the end of that once college ended. Like, I'm not a big drinker. So I know sometimes people be going on trips with like mushrooms and different things like that, but this is, I would say that, I can't say that it's similar, but this is a spiritual trip. Okay, like, if it was, if a trip is something that can get you clarity about what the ayahuasca experience is like, or what you may, I don't know, closest thing that I can align it with is like a trip, you know, like if somebody was going on a drug trip, but not a drug trip. This is a spiritual trip. But it's coming from this poisonous plant, and it's cooked. Like, it has to be cooked for like a long period of time. So if you are doing an ayahuasca experience, or if you are feeling called and your spirit is feeling led, because it chooses you. Like, when it's time for you to take an ayahuasca experience, you gonna know. Like, it ain't gonna be no confusion about it. Like, you will know when it has chosen you to take this journey. And ayahuasca is not something that you should be doing to get high, because this is not a plant that you can control. The best way that I can explain ayahuasca is like, you are literally a passenger in the car, and if you try to control it, it's just gonna make that experience, or that spiritual trip, more difficult, and it's not gonna be pretty. Like, it's not gonna be pretty if you're going in it with ill intentions to get high or something like that, because that's not what it's meant for. It's really meant for you to get closer connected to source, as well as to bring anything to your attention that needs to be brought, as well as to release anything that needs to be released. So the plant has to be cooked properly, and everybody is not in a position to cook it. Like, it's really a spiritual journey to cook. Like, a lot of times, it's not a lot of times, it always should be cooked by a shaman. And who, most of the time shamans have a whole team of people, like a compound or something, you know what I mean, who work with them, who help them with different spiritual tasks and things like that. So the shaman normally cooks it, and they might also take like shifts, because minimum it needs to be cooked like 24 hours. And I'm saying this to let you know that if you are taking an ayahuasca experience in the future, to be careful about who you take your ayahuasca experience with, because it's something that is becoming more popular, even though it has been around for decades. It is a plant that's been around for decades. It's been a spiritual practice for decades. However, it's becoming more popular to the public, or more people in the public are finding out about it. And with popularity of anything, always comes people who trying to make money off of it, who trying to get on the wave. And people also are realizing that people are becoming more spiritually aware. So there's all these workshops popping up, there's all these different type of retreats popping up. And even with retreats, you have to be careful about who you are following. Like, you can't just be following any type of spiritual guide. You really got to do your homework about who they are, what they offer, like, unless you just feel spiritually led. If your spirit, like, listening to your spirit, but also being aware and knowledgeable about what they're offering and what you're going to be getting, so you just not falling into no okie doke. Because this is a poisonous plant, a lot of times people are cooking it just for the sake of getting money, and offering it for the sake of getting money, and people are dying because it's not cooked properly. You know what I mean? Like, it can be dangerous if it is taken under the wrong type of circumstances. So when I took my ayahuasca experience, because normally the ayahuasca, like, I'm not going to say normally, because everybody has a different experience. Like, what you're dealing with on a spiritual level, and what you need to release, and what you need to see is different. Like, nobody's journey or trip or spiritual trip is going to be the same. For me, I personally feel like on this trip I had a very pleasant trip. Like, I really had a very pleasant trip, y'all. Like, I just was so grateful. Like, even now, even at this moment, just every time I reflect on this trip, I just feel more and more grateful, because I had none of the normal symptoms that I researched. Like, I found out about it through my spiritual retreat, and of course she was telling us about what we can expect and just getting us prepared. However, I also did like some Google research of my own, and I realized, like, sometimes people do an ayahuasca for a 4-day period, where for 4 days they do ayahuasca each night. And sometimes people do it like every single day, because it's literally like, it just removes you from all of this shit of the world and realigns you with what you're supposed to be doing, and your connection to source. So sometimes people do it every day, you know what I mean, to get reconnected to source. This time that I did it, I only did it for 1 night, and we actually spent the night at this particular place. I'm trying to think what else. A lot of times it's kind of like, it has been heard that sometimes you may throw up a lot, sometimes you may have diarrhea, you may like really get real shitty, like, different people feel different things. Like, I know when we went with, like, I was there with like 4 other girls, but it was a big group of people there. But with my particular group, it was 4 of us who came together. Well, it was 5 of us all together, but 4 other girls other than me. And one of the girls, she felt like her spirit led her to write in her journal different things. Some people, one of our girls was just seeing a bunch of different like cartoonish type of things. Um, People cried. I mean, I cried, and I also sang. This is why I feel like my journey was more pleasant, because like I had no symptoms as far as throwing up or having diarrhea. Like I literally just cried, and it really was like something that I think I had been like some pain that I had been holding on to, that I needed to release. And even like at different points, because they had helpers there, because you're not on this trip alone. Like if you're going on an ayahuasca experience and they leave you out there by yourself to drink this without having people to watch you, run. Okay, like you should have helpers there who are guiding you, because it was moments where I could not open my eyes, y'all. Like this is how it's like literally something spiritual took over me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like something took over me. It was really more so. It was like my spirit almost is what I feel like took over me, because I was really a observer. Like I had no control over my body. Like I had no control. Like it was moments that the helpers were talking to me, and I literally could not talk. Like I literally was just singing, and I couldn't stop the songs that were coming out of my mouth to stop, you know? All I could do was like shake my head yes or no. And it was moments where my eyes wouldn't open, like, and I don't know what was going on spiritually, but it was just like I couldn't open my eyes, you know? So you need help. You need helpers there. You need it to be a good setup where the helpers are letting you know at the beginning, some type of orientation to let you know, because it's not something that you should fear either. Like you should not go into it being fearful, because obviously, you know, this plant has chosen you. It already knows when you get there. You know what I mean? Like it's chosen you to be there. So hold up, let me look at the comments real quick. Folks aren't comfortable with that kind of directness, but that's on them. Hello, that is on them. You can't deal with none of that. I'm gonna come back to that, Alice. So for my ayahuasca experience, I basically cried a bit and released some pain, and one of the helpers came to me, and she was just like, you don't have to hold this. Like you don't have to hold this pain. But at the same time, the helpers take the journey with you, so they're on the trip too. But I'm not sure how they prepare beforehand to not be. I don't know how they prepare beforehand to be helpers. But what is that? What is you? Girl, I can't wait to move. I'm so damn tired of insects in my room. um, and I be feeling bad killing them, but I'm just like, you are really fair game if you come into this room. The spirit already know that I'm not here for it. So, I really, y'all, like, to me, this was confirmation. My ayahuasca experience was confirmation of my spiritual connection, because one, like I was singing, literally, like I was singing, y'all. I was singing, okay, and I wasn't singing no regular words. Like it was something tribal that I can't even tell. Like I had never heard these words in my conscious prior to in this life that I can remember. It was like I didn't even know what these words were, but they were just coming out. And after the ayahuasca was done, like the next morning, one of the helpers, she came to me. She was actually the wife of the shaman, and because the shaman went around and the shaman talked to everybody to see how their experience was, as well as to give them an opportunity to tell him anything that they felt like they needed clarity on, so that he can, you know, give some additional insight. And that was another thing that he was telling me, was just like the ancestors are with me. And I definitely believe him, because because of how my experience, because of how my experience was, I was the only one who had a pleasant experience like that, you know, like just off of all the research I had found out too. Like it was, I never fathomed in my mind that I would have been singing and dancing. You know what I mean? Like literally I was singing and I was dancing. Like I cried a bit, but the rest of the time I was singing and I was dancing. And I didn't even take a lot, because normally you can, like on an ayahuasca, well, for our ayahuasca, we had an option to have 4 shots. And I only had 1 shot. And your spirit knows, like when it's time for you to take another shot, it's like another drink of the ayahuasca, your spirit will be led to take it. You know what I mean? Like it's very much spiritually led. Like you will be aware when it's time, and at no point was I aware of any other time to drink, you know. So I just felt like spiritually my spirit only wanted one. That's all I needed. So I literally just sang, and then the next morning, the wife of the shaman, she remembered some of the things that I was singing, and she was like, "Do you remember saying this?" And I remember because I was very much aware of, like, it wasn't like I was on a, like, it's kind of like, it's literally like I was a passenger, like really on some real shit, y'all. It's like I was the passenger. I was not like I was not in control of my body, but I was observed. Like I was very alert to what was happening, and I was basically an observer. And so she was telling me, she was like, "I remember you singing this, and that. Do you remember singing this?" And I told her, I was like, "Yeah, I do remember saying that." And she told me that the words that I was singing was to Yemanja. I don't know if you guys have heard of Yemanja, but she is the queen mother of the ocean. She is a deity in the African spirituality. I have never studied African spirituality, so why would I be singing to this woman? I don't know. It makes no other sense for me to be singing to her, unless it's like my spirit has some type of connection to her, and my spirit was reminding me. You know what I mean? Because I definitely feel like before we came to this earth, our spirit requested to come here. Our spirit requested to come here for whatever reason, for the purposes that we needed, for the purpose that we need to complete. And I feel like once we go through the veil to be birthed, we forget everything. Like everything that we knew on a spiritual level before we get here, we forget everything. And it's almost like you're walking through this earth and you're remembering who you are. You have to, like, it's almost like you got to wake your spirit up so that you can reconnect with your spirit, so that you can complete whatever tasks that you're supposed to be completing. And I think this ayahuasca experience was one of those things that my spirit maybe put into place so that I can wake up a little bit more, because that definitely was a profound moment to me, because it's just like, it's no way that I would have been singing this. Like, it's no way. It's like my spirit was singing this. My spirit connected and my spirit knew. And even at one point, I remember, because like I said, y'all, I literally couldn't talk because I was singing. And I couldn't stop the singing. And I remember at points it was like they were telling me, they were like, "Damn, this has really gone off on a tangent." This is how our lives be happening sometimes. So yeah, thanks for being patient and understanding. But I remember at one point, it was like I had to pee, right? At one point I was literally singing and I had to pee, but I couldn't stop singing to express that I had to pee, right? And it was also moments where my spirit wanted to sing so much that I didn't even want to breathe, you know. And the girls had to remind me, like, breathe, like, because the helpers were with me for pretty much most of my journey. I don't know how long my trip lasted, but they were with me for a good chunk of time. And I remember they walked me to the bathroom, because there's no way I would have been able to walk through that property. Like, it was like we were literally in the grass, in like their back door of the back part of their compound, which was like this big ass grass field, these big ass trees, and it was right next to the river. and we walked to the bathroom. My eyes was closed this whole time, right? My eyes closed this whole time. We walked to the bathroom. They literally had to help me pee, help me wipe myself and everything, because I could not, like, this is how, like, no control I had over my own body. Like, I could not, like, my spirit just like, okay, we realize you gotta pee now, okay. But at the same time, when I got there, it was like she asked me after I peed, after, like, they had helped me get cleaned up, she asked me if I wanted to wash my hands. And it was like at some points my head was shaking, and I wasn't shaking it. It was like my spirit was like, yeah, we want to wash our hands. And we didn't even, like, I didn't even wash my, it was like I was washing my hands, but it was like I started putting this water on my face. Water was very significant to me that night. And when we came back, like, we came out of the house, eyes were still closed, my eyes were still closed. Like, they literally was guiding me, guys. Like, they literally was guiding me, but not like guiding me like forcing me. They just kind of was like going with my flow. So if I stopped, they stopped, you know. And at one point I did stop, because where I would, like, where my palette was not too far. So on the way back from the bathroom to take me back to the pallet where I would, to like let me lay back down, I stopped and I was singing, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by women. Like, I didn't see them, but I could feel them. Like, everybody just, like, I feel like all the helpers at that point came to me, and everybody was giving me love. And I think my spirit needed that as well, because it was like I was singing, but it was a moment where I just was like, as if I was just inhaling this love energy, you know. And it was like I was really taking like deep ass breaths. Like, I literally did not, like, I'm just observing this and I'm just like, wow, you know. And I remember her saying, I don't remember exactly what she told me, but it was something along the lines of being loved and being supported. It was something along that lines. I can't remember the exact words, but it was like every moment when they talked to me, it was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment. And then we were walking back after that, because we stood there for a minute. Like, it was a lot of women around me, and we were literally in like a hug type of huddle. Like, everybody is hugging me, and I think I was hugging one of the ladies, but everybody was just like giving me all of this love energy. And we just really were in that moment for a while, and I was literally in the middle of them, and I was singing for a moment as well. And then eventually they started walking me back. Like, eventually my feet started moving to walk back to where I was laying. But when we got to where I was laying, it was like I couldn't move. Like, my spirit didn't want to lay down again. And so we were just kind of standing there, but I was singing this whole time. And then out of nowhere, one of the helpers, she said, do you want to go to the river? And my head started to shake. Like, yes, this is what my spirit wanted to do. And so they walked me to the river. And y'all, literally, for the rest of my ayahuasca experience, I stood and I laid by the river and I sang to the fucking river, okay? Like, these tribal spiritual words that I can't even recall to you exactly what this whole thing that I was singing. Like, I can't even tell you this is what I was singing, you know. But I literally was like at the water, and I remember at one point, like, I laid all the way down and I was like stretched out and I was singing, and then it was like I ended with like a dance moment. And then after that, it was just kind of like it almost felt like I had went through a bit of a ritual as well. It almost felt like I was singing and I was getting reconnected to my inner self. Because at one point I fucking growled, okay, like a lioness, okay. And I remember being shocked. I was like, the fuck was that? Like, I like literally this, like my mind was very much aware of what was going on, because it was like at moments I got scared, you know, because at moments, like at the beginning, I was really trying not to be scared though, because like she told us in the orientation, don't be fearful, like don't bring that energy, like be grateful. So whenever I felt like my mind, because at the beginning it took a while for my trip to actually start because I was real cold, and so I got like a blanket, and then when my trip actually started, it just felt like I was overthinking and I was just in my head. It's just like how you normally would be meditating and sometimes you can't focus in your meditation. It was similar to that. Whenever my head was kind of like hopping around to other shit, I just was bringing it back by saying thank you, thank you, thank you for this moment, thank you for this opportunity, thank you for choosing me, things like that. Um, and that was even profound within itself, to be chosen for this plant to choose me. You know what I mean? Because I like, y'all know, a lot of times I don't feel chosen. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I have to choose myself. So that was profound to me. But just saying thank you for this moment, you know, and just showing gratitude for this moment. And then I remember at some moment, like at the beginning, it was like almost like I was walking down a path, but I wasn't walking. It was like, obviously my spirit was moving somewhere. I didn't know where it was going, but I felt my spirit was moving, and at different points it's almost as if it really felt like some tribal shit. Like it really felt like it really felt tribal to me. It just really felt tribal because I remember light being like how, y'all know, what are these things called? Think about somebody being in the wild and having that stalk with the fire. It's not a stalk, I don't know what to call it, but y'all know, like this little long wooden stick with the fire. However you would light that, however they would go about lighting that, and the sound that it would take, that it would make to light that, that happened to me a couple of times where I felt like something of that intensity was being lit in front of me, and I remember jumping back like a couple of times, and like I was in it and I just was like, wait, what, you know, like what's going on? And but at one point, literally, y'all, I growled. Like I remember growling, and what I felt like one, I got connected to my goddess. I felt like I got connected to my inner self. I felt like I also realized that I have a connection to Yemanjah, which I still need to do more research on her, because I just feel like there's no way I would be singing to her if I don't, you know, there's some type of connection between me and Yemanjah. Because why would I be singing to her? I didn't know shit about her prior to that night. Like, I knew nothing about her. And apparently, Yemanjah is a big force here in Salvador because they're very spiritual. Very, very, very spiritual. So that was just kind of like a mental note, like, wow, what is that connection there? Because like, why would I be singing to her? But also having that growling moment, it also kind of showed me my strength. It showed me my strength, like, you know, it just showed me my strength a bit. I felt like that was my spirit animal as well. I felt like I got introduced to my spirit animal, and I was just like, because I remember when I growled, I was like, wait, I remember doing that process of me growling. I was like, what is happening? What is that? Is that what's girl, what the fuck? Like, I remember thinking like, wow, like what is going on here? So it was a whole journey, a whole journey. I went on another tangent. I don't know how I don't know, but She Hearts that says, yeah, in fact, the Starbucks logo mermaid with two tails is actually a depiction of her. Really? I didn't know that. Do you know that Beyonce, remember when she just had her when she had the twins, she was evoking Yemanjah's spirit, and I didn't realize it until recently when I feel like I was doing a Google search because I still, my spirit is telling me that I need to do some more research on Yemanjah. So I've done a little bit here and there, but one of those researching moments, I found a photo of Beyonce at her push party, I believe it was. Y'all remember she was pregnant with the twins, and she had like her belly out. She had her belly painted. She just had like a skirt, and she had some kind of like little headdress on. So apparently that whole look was a Yemanjah type of look, you know, invoking the Yemanjah spirit. So that was really profound to me. It's interesting. She's in different parts of this society. I just think, particularly in America, spirituality is often just, I think they just be trying to push it aside. They don't want people to really be open spiritually, you know, because if you just think like, if everybody connected to their highest self, a lot of shit that the government is doing would not be able to continue. Like, it just would not. And I definitely think, I was talking about this earlier on my Insta stories. I actually did a live on Instagram, so if you haven't seen it, go check me out at the Courtney Williams. But I talked about this for a little bit because I just feel like black people all around the world are oppressed. And the more that I travel, like, I remember having this moment in Asia because I've been to the Caribbean, so I've experienced like how the colonizer has affected the Caribbeans. I've experienced how the colonizers have affected Asia and how they have affected South America as of now. And I really be thinking like, how the fuck, how in the entire fuck did they do this? Like, how did they do this to all these people of color? Like, not just black people, but it's like people of color all around the world. How did they begin to make you feel less than? You know what I mean? How did they take control? And I personally believe that it's some spiritual shit. Like, I don't think it's just so simple as we came over here with guns. No, I think it's something way deeper than that. But we ain't gonna know as of now. So yeah, let's get back into our main combo. Wait, Alice said, how much money should I save if I want to move to Asia for maybe 6 months? I'm new at this. What area is nice? Apartment prices? Well, it depends on what part of Asia you want to go to. So you got to be thinking like, do you want to go to Thailand, Cambodia? The cheapest places are Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos. Bali cheap too, and Bali is super super cute. Bali is cute, and Bali's not that expensive. It depends on, like, if you stay at a resort, then yeah, that's gonna be a lot. But like, you can find an apartment in Bali and make some things really shake. I really feel like it depends. Like, if you're going to Asia, knowing that you're going to be working, like, let's say, you know, like, I'm gonna start in Asia and I'm finna get this teaching job and I'm finna work it out. You know what I mean? Like, if you know that you're going there to teach, it's not gonna take you that long to get a teaching job, depending on like if you're going to China, Korea, or Vietnam. Like, really, anywhere you go in Asia, it's always teaching jobs. It's just the pay is going to vary. You know, the pay is gonna vary. So if you're going there automatically thinking you're gonna be working, I would say you want to start off with like at least $1,000 to $2,000, and that way you'll have a little wiggle room. Because on some real shit, I feel like on a monthly level, you can really live good for about $1,000 a month in most places in Asia. So if you save 2,000, that'll give you at least 2 months, and really you can get a job within your first couple of days, depending on which country you go to and how you apply for jobs before you get there. And then, you know, you don't really have to worry. Like, you can cover some of your first main expenses. But if you're going there and like you don't want to work, and you say you're gonna stay for 6 months, then you need to like have you a good 6,000. Like, because obviously it's like you're gonna have to figure out how to make money some kind of way. That's just like if you want to be really really comfortable. But like, y'all know, like, I landed in Asia with $200 and I ended up staying 3 years. So don't let that hold you back. Like, save what you can and get there. Once you get there, you can figure out the rest. But for sure, like, I would say at least 1,000 off top, you know, not including your flight. not including your flight, like 1,000 to 2,000 to get you started in a comfortable way, and then you can find work when you get there. Or you can be working online. You can start working online with VIP Kid, Dada ABC, Say ABC, iTalki. You can start working with any of those companies before you even leave America and get your, schedules up, get your systems together, and then get over there and not even have to work with a school. And then they also have tutorings as well. Like, you just have to put out a you have to put out an ad and say, like, I'm a tutor, and set your prices. Sometimes you got to do a little bit more legwork, but it's a good setup if you can get it rolling. It's a good setup if you can get it rolling. And as far as areas, now, Alice, all of the areas have good apartments. Like, Thailand has a bunch of condos, hella condos, and condos are not expensive in Thailand. Like, if you're in the big cities like Bangkok or even Chiang Mai, you can get a dope ass place for like 350. Like, granted, if you pay a little more, like 450, it could be real, 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 real nice. But just on some, like, what we would expect, the modernness that we would expect from America, a good 350 in pretty much all, like, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, all of them places. Like, you can get a nice ass place for about 350 a month for an apartment. Now, if you're wondering, like, a specific area of Vietnam, or a specific area, like, if you're thinking about Thailand, if you're thinking about Vietnam, I mean, I pretty much traveled all up and down Vietnam. Like, I did Ho Chi Minh, Hoi An, Hue, Ninh Binh. Like, I literally, the first time I went to Vietnam, I went up and down. I went from Ho Chi Minh City all the way up to Hanoi. And then when I lived in Vietnam, y'all, I lived in Vietnam for 2 years, so I hopped all the way around. I love all the cities. If you're going to Vietnam, I would recommend that you go to Vietnam first and you travel through, because it's very easy to travel from one part up. Like, you can take a bunch of buses. The buses are hella cheap, like $10, $8 from one city to the next. Or you can take flights. The flights are hella cheap too, $25, sometimes less. But I think this is important because I think when people go to Vietnam, they automatically think of Ho Chi Minh City, which is the city. And the city ain't always that great. Like, the first time I went to Ho Chi Minh City, I did not like it. The second time I went to Ho Chi Minh City, it was cool, but it burned me out, And it's definitely a city life on a Vietnam scale. So sometimes it's a little dirty. There's pollution. Sometimes it doesn't have a lot of authentic food. Well, it has authentic food, but not the same in comparison to some of the other Vietnamese cities. So I always recommend, if you're going to Vietnam, you need to hop through first. Like, plan it out to where you can spend your first like month traveling up or traveling down, like either fly into Hanoi and just travel down to Ho Chi Minh, or fly into Ho Chi Minh and travel up to to Hanoi, because then you can fill out the cities. Like, stay 3 days in each city and then move to the next one. It's real easy. It's not hard at all. They got hostels everywhere. They got hotels everywhere. It's not expensive whatsoever, okay? Like, you can get a really dope hostel, really dope hotel for, like, little or nothing. Like, you can get a hotel room for, like, $12. You can get a really dope-ass hostel for about $5, okay? And food, breakfast included, amen? So, do that. As far as Thailand goes, Chiang Mai, I always recommend Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a dope ass place. Like, they have a really cool vibe. I really like Pai, Thailand as well. Pai is not too far from Chiang Mai. Like, to get to Pai, you will fly to Chiang Mai and then you take a bus to Pai, because you can't fly to Pai. The islands in Thailand are dope, like Koh Phi Island, Krabi. There's an island called Rayon. I might be saying that one wrong. It looked like Rayon, though. I lived in, well, I wouldn't recommend Ubon Ratchathani, because Ubon Ratchathani was kind of boring, but they did have a really good Mexican place that was really authentic to what we remember. Plus, I love Bangkok. Like, Bangkok is my spot. I love me some Bangkok. As far as Cambodia goes, I would recommend Sam Reap. I like Sam Reap. I would also recommend Sanakville. So Sanakville is like a little town that it basically has the port to get to a lot of the islands. It's also like a little beach town. Like it's so Sanakville is like its own little city, but Otros Beach is like not too far from it. So to get to Otros Beach is like maybe a 10-minute little tuk-tuk ride, and then once you're in Otro, actually no, in Sanakville is where the port is. So the port is in Sanakville, but Otros Beach is not too far. So if you go there, you want to stay in Otros Beach because like you right on the beach and it's a whole little vibe. But if you're in Sanakville, you can take the ferry to get to like Karong Island or some of the other islands like the Speed Ferry, which was dope. Where else in Cambodia did I like? I did not like Phnom Penh. No, Phnom Penh, the energy was felt. I could feel that energy of all them people who died, and I was like, I'm ready to go. So, yeah. But if it's another place, just let me know. You can hit me up on Instagram, send me a message. I always respond. Man, you got me missing Thailand now. I'm telling you, I be missing Thailand. My only thing about Thailand, like Thailand is a cool little place. But see, the thing about Thailand, this is also why I think they don't pay their teachers well, because Thailand got too many teaching positions, but they don't like to really pay. Like they only pay about $1,000, but I really think it's because they don't want to be paying foreigners more than the Thai people. It's really some political shit, you know. And at the same time, it's like y'all gotta keep in mind that Thailand been doing this tourist thing the longest out of all the Southeast Asian countries. Thailand is like deep in the tourism game, and I really feel like they don't like. I'm not gonna say they don't like tourists, but I feel like they kind of be, even though they get all of this tourist money, I kind of feel like sometimes it kind of is like going to their head, where they just kind of feel like, maybe because they've just established themselves, you know, where it's like when you think of Asia, you automatically think of Thailand. Like when people first think of Asia, they think of Thailand first. They don't really normally think of Cambodia or Vietnam unless they have more knowledge on it. Off bad people be thinking of the elephants and shit in Thailand, you know what I mean? So it's a really touristy spot, and they've really built up their tourist game to a level where I just feel like they feel like can't shit touch them on the tourist end, because they definitely been doing some fuck shit recently, especially towards like black people. Well, it's just like, I get it, but then at the same time, it's like y'all still doing some fuck shit, because it's been a lot of African men who have been coming to Thailand recently. Not recently, but it's been happening for a long time. I think they're getting fed up now. It's like a lot of people been overstaying their Thai visas. A lot of people. However, there's been a big ass number of African men who have been in Thailand, not only staying over their visas, but also doing a lot of illegal shit, you know, drugs and all other kind of things. And it got to a point where, see, the thing that I don't think people realize about Thailand is like they do value Thai women to an extent. You know what I mean? Like they really do value Thai women. And I think what happened was that a lot of African men started crossing the line with the Thai girls, because it's almost like their family definitely brings them up in a way to support the family, you know, like, because Thai baht is king, you know, Thai baht is the local currency, and a lot of times you will realize that like a lot of people are willing to do anything for some Thai baht, you know. I'm not gonna say everybody, some people got more morals than that, but it's very much strategic, I think, for their women and for their families. And a lot of men go there thinking they're gonna marry these Thai girls and it's just gonna be all chill and whatever. And honey, them Thai girls be smart. Okay, they ain't playing with your ass. Okay, they gonna get that money, and they gonna get you to build a house for their family, and don't let them die, they family taking it, you know. Like, even if you start a business in Thailand, you gotta go in business with a Thai person. It's like a lot of like little Thai laws in place. But what was happening was like African men have been doing some fuck shit in Thailand for a really long time, and I think that they just fucked up because they started getting Thai girls to run drugs through the borders, right? Like literally, and honestly, I know this because a guy tried to get me to rush some drugs for him. I'm gonna have to do a story time for y'all about this shit. I have not done like no major dating stories for y'all lately, and I still got so many dating stories from all this crazy shit that was happening in Thailand, and that's one of them. This guy was dating definitely was like ulterior motives trying to get me to be his drug runner, and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck, sir? The fuck you think I am? So I know this to be something that goes on in Thailand from personal experience, you know. And I know for sure because you know, like I'm not a person who like I don't do shit for money. You know what I mean? Like that's like my like as far as like the sugar daddy lifestyle, as far as like I don't know what it is about me, y'all, but it's like I feel like when I was younger, I always kind of felt like, oh yeah, sugar daddy would be cool. It would be nice to have a sugar daddy, somebody take care of you, yes. But I could never. It's like every time I was in, every time a sugar daddy situation, every time a sugar daddy opportunity presented itself to me, it never worked out for me. Okay, it never worked out. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. Erica just messaged me. But it never worked out for me. It's like it goes so against my spirit. It goes so against my spirit because and when you think of a sugar daddy setup, y'all, a sugar daddy setup does not always have to mean somebody who is rich. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to one of my friends earlier. Girl, Swatika! I know, Swatika. What? Girl, I need to do some more story times. I literally thought about this the other day. I thought about this the other day because I feel like I ain't even scratched the surface on the dating scene and the shit that I was going through on the dating scene with these men, particularly these African men in Asia. Like they was really wilding the fuck out, honey. They was really wilding out. So yeah, that was definitely a journey. Like, can you imagine somebody trying to get me to run drugs, bitch? And I'm like, I ain't never dated no drug lords, no motherfucking drug dealers. Like I can't even. Like I feel like I'm scared of the life. Like first of all, I'm not going to jail for you. I don't want to be in the crossfire. Like I can't. None of that. None of that is my ministry. None of that. So who, honey? We gonna do some story times. I'm gonna get some out for you guys. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of men not only doing like a lot of men just doing some fuck shit out there in Thailand, and I think Thailand just getting tired of it because even still with the whole sugar daddy thing, for me it's like I feel like when people give you money, you have to remember sorry, somebody's coming upstairs and I was like, what is that? What is going on? What is going on? And I kind of been feeling some energy in this house over the last few weeks, y'all. So I really been like, the fuck? Like, spirit, you got me. Okay, we good. However, comma, I feel like with me and my journey, one, I can't date married men. As soon as I like, granted, let's say if I done met somebody and I date somebody and I don't know that they're married, if I found out that you married and I'm not, you know, it's like I ask questions and my spirit always reveals to me anything that these niggas be trying to hide. So eventually it comes to my attention, and I cannot knowingly date a married person for money. And that happens a lot in Asia, where, you know, these African men, they be having whole wives back home. You know, they be having whole wives back home in Africa, and they're coming to Asia because, one, you know, people come and do a lot of import export. Sometimes they come here and they be doing different businesses, sometimes legal, sometimes not, and they literally, I think, you know, they still just be feeling like they got to get their rocks off. You know, like, I guess the idea of marriage is not the same I'm not even saying I guess, the idea of marriage and how we see marriage in America is not the same as how African men see it. They will definitely travel around the motherfucking world and drop their motherfucking seed all around the world and have no motherfucking shame. Okay? And I think it's a lot of women who, not I think, I know this firsthand. Like, I have a friend who was in this journey. Well, we ain't friends no more, but part of my reasoning for like distancing myself, see, this is another journey of like my communication, because I never expressed to her why well, eventually we had a conversation. About it, but it was after the fact, after I had left, Asia, as well as after my spirit had got to a better place, because y'all know, like, I just got to Vietnam and my fucking spirit, like, I don't know what was going on with them motherfucking people. Okay, I don't know what was going on with them, but they really drained the hell out of me. Like, they really drained my spirit. I just felt like I was around so many energy suckers, and I felt hella drained, hella depressed. It just was too much for me. I felt hella overwhelmed. It was way too much, and I just felt like I was around all of this energy that wasn't good, and all of this energy that was involved in all of this shit that I didn't want to be around. And one of my friends, it was like, it's like sometimes people involve themselves in low vibrational things, and that energy becomes a part of them, and they don't realize it. They just kind of feel like, oh no, I'm just still who I am. But I could feel that shit, and eventually I separated myself from them. Like, and I didn't tell them, because I don't feel like I just feel like at that moment I didn't have enough energy to have a conversation about it. Like, I felt like at that moment I was so completely drained that I had to go back into I had to go into hermit mode. Like, I just really had to go into a self recharging mode, and I didn't have enough energy to have any petty conversations. I didn't have enough energy to be going back and forth with nobody. I just knew your energy right now is not some energy that I can be around, and I need to remove myself. And sometimes that happens. Like, sometimes you may not have the words to express why you need to remove yourself from somebody, but you may feel it in your spirit, like, I need to remove myself from somebody. And I personally feel like that is okay. That is okay. I just feel like you can always apologize later. Like, look, I apologize for not articulating this to you. And I told her that later, like, like, I'm sure, like, I get how you felt. I get how you felt like I just abandoned your ass, because I did. But at the end of the day, I came to this motherfucking world one deep. And what's most important is me and my energy. And your energy is fucking with my energy, and I can't have it. Okay? I can't have it. But I know for a fact a lot of women will do this, I think a lot of black women are in an interesting place right now in Asia, because it's not a lot of black men. It's not. It's just not. And a lot of black women date black men, or they're most attracted to black men, and it's not a lot of them. So it's like either they're ending up fucking the same guy and just not really caring, which that also ain't my history. Or, they knowingly know that these men are married, but because these men are providing some type of financial gain for them, they just don't care. But I just feel like, it's just too many women out here selling their soul and letting this toxic. I saw a damn post recently. I saw two posts. Y'all gotta go check out the stories, Insta stories. My @ Courtney Williams. Check out the stories, girl. It's two posts. One of them is a little video. This girl talking about how people over here being vegan, or trying to eat healthier, or trying to be more mindful about the food that they are taking in, but not thinking about the type of dick that they taking in, And the second post was just also about saying, be mindful, like, you not even, like, you're not worried about letting toxic dick into your yoni. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think that people be thinking about this exchange, like, you're exchanging yourself for money, or you're exchanging yourself for sexual things from toxic people, and you're not realizing how this toxic energy is fucking up your energy. You know what I mean? So that's happening a lot. And then guys are getting, ooh, girl, a piece of my hair literally started moving on the bed. I thought that was a fucking spider or something. I was like, wait, I ain't gonna be able, Jesus. Um, girl, but a lot of men also are literally getting Thai women to run drugs through the border. And I remember with one situation, girl, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of a story time. I went on a date with this guy, and he really was liking me, trying to take me home and everything. I'm like, nigga, I'm not going home with you. And we went to a park at one point. First of all, he took me to dinner, right? So he messaged me, and then he asked me where I wanted to go to dinner. So I was like, I want to go to this Thai place. You know, like if you ask me where I want to go, I'm gonna tell you. Like, look, this is what I like to eat, and I like to eat good. Amen. So he took me to this Thai restaurant. And then, girl, he tried not to fucking pay the full bill. Like, granted, he didn't give me the bill, right? He just like, they gave him the bill, and he didn't put the full amount of money in the bill. And then we gotta, like, I didn't know he didn't put the full money, because I don't grab at the check. Like, I don't even look at the check. Like, the check has nothing to do with me if I'm on a date. You shouldn't even touch the bill if you are on a date. Like, that is not something that you should be handling. So he looked at the bill, he put some money in it, and then we got up and we were walking out, and then the guy stopped him because he didn't put the full amount of money in there. And he was trying to play it off, but like, I really felt like he was doing some shady shit. And then after that, we walked down from the restaurant to like this little park, and we were talking, and he was telling me what happened with his brother. So apparently his brother was here, his brother was living in Thailand before he even came to Asia. His brother was doing some illegal, like, I think he was doing some credit card shit, some illegal credit card shit, but he also was running drugs. And he ended up getting a Thai girlfriend. And see, this is my thing as well about it, because it's like, you trying to get somebody to run drugs for you who is your girlfriend. Like, where's the love? You know, like, why would you be trying to put your girlfriend in such a dangerous position? Because a lot of times when people are trying to get you to run drugs, the way that you would do it is either putting it in a suitcase. I'm getting a lot of messages right now. Putting it in a suitcase, right? Like, they will package it in a particular type of way for you to carry it on outside of your body, or you have to actually ingest it, right? Like, it's apparently like packaged in a certain way so that you can ingest it and it doesn't break or something. And then I guess when you get to your destination, you just shit it out. So all of that, I just can't. I just can't. But the Thai girl, so he had a baby by this Thai woman and everything. He gets to Thailand, he meets this Thai girl, gets this Thai girl pregnant. I don't know how long he had this Thai girl running drugs for him, but she had been running drugs for him. She went through one of the borders, because also, y'all, it's a lot of land borders as well. So a lot of times I feel like people will try to get like, y'all, I know y'all have heard about this. It was this one white girl not too long ago who got stopped for having drugs in her bag, in her suitcase. I can't remember. She got stopped somewhere in Asia, and she's in jail right now. And she was trying to say, she's like, well, I didn't know. This guy just bought me a ticket, and I thought I was getting a free trip. But it didn't make sense, because it's like, it's one thing for somebody to buy you a ticket, but why would he pack your bag? Why would he give you a special type of bag with special compartments? Like, you didn't know, you know? And I think a lot of times, you know, these African men ain't stupid. You know, they be thinking like, oh no, I can get a European person to do this, like a European girl to do this, because they definitely be money hungry, you know. I can get her to do this. And also because people don't question white people. People just feel like if a white person is doing something, it can't be no wrong in it, you know what I mean? But she just happened to get stopped. So Thai girl was going through this border, and she actually got stopped. And she got stopped. She had the drugs on her, and basically, girl, they had her in the back, and they were so the baby was at home. The baby wasn't with her. The baby was at home with the African guy. She done went out and ran these drugs for him. She got caught at the border, and the border patrol, I guess they interrogated her, and they just was like, they lied to her. They told her to, they basically wanted to know who gave her the drugs to run. And they kind of promised her that she would be coming back to meet to have her baby, right? So she basically turned in her boyfriend, baby daddy. She turned him in. Like, she didn't even, it's like you running drugs for the dude, and then you turned him in. Like, they didn't already caught you. What you thought they was finna let you go? Girl. So she basically tells them where they live. They went there to get the African guy. He is in jail as well. The baby now is with the grandmother. Both of them are in jail. So this is like, I'm on a date with this guy. He's telling me all this shit that happened with his brother, and apparently he was in Africa at the time. His mom was like just really upset, like how you got, like, because this is like a younger brother. So she's like, you know, you got to go to Thailand now and make sure your brother is good. So this is all the reason of him coming to Thailand. Which I don't know how long people go to jail for if they are caught doing drug trafficking in Thailand. I don't know, but I definitely don't think it's a short sentence. So that all happened, and I don't know, that was just a weird ass date. He was trying to take me home after that. I was like, nigga, you just tried to not even pay this bill. You, like, something is wrong with you. I'm not, and you seem shady as well. He just seemed shady to me as well. So basically, in a nutshell, part of this initiative against brown skinned people in Thailand is because of this. Like, because I know you guys have probably heard that Thailand has been detaining black people because they're really trying to crack down on people who are overstaying their visa, as well as people who are in Thailand doing criminal activity. So it's like, you know, a couple of black people doing fuck shit has fucked it up for everybody, you know, because I have heard of some black people being detained, you know, unlawfully in Thailand. So it's a lot going on there, but I think that is one of the main reasons why, because it's like, I don't think people really understand how the value that Thailand places on their women, you know, and for that to be happening more frequently now, where a lot of Thai women are getting caught at different borders and different airports running drugs for African men, is a fucking problem. Like, basically it's a problem. So now it's like I feel like they've been putting a lot of agendas in place to crack down on it. So that's what's going on there. So yeah, there'll be some more story times coming very soon. I will make it a point to, the next time we go live, we're gonna do a story time so that I can tell you guys more about all this shit that be popping off there, so that you can be prepared and you can avoid all this craziness, because honey child, it gets real, okay? It gets real. So yeah, as far as communication goes, I had a couple of moments. Like, I had a moment with this new person that I have been networking with, and I'm trying not to put them on blast, but it's basically, it was a couple of things. Wait, they need to do something about them backpackers too, but like you said, white folks are rarely questioned. Hello, I've been seeing the backpackers. For anybody who doesn't know, the backpackers are literally white backpackers who have run out of money, and they like on the side of the street with signs in Thai talking about, give me some money, give me some money. Like, you know, it's like, I feel like it's one thing if you're crowdfunding or if you need some help and you have to ask, your family or your friends or like the expat community. But it's something very wrong to me about backpackers begging local poor people for money. Like, you're coming from a country that has resources, and we don't really know what your financial situation is like with your family, but to be, I don't know, it's just, it's not a good thing. But at the same time, apparently in this world white people can do no wrong. So 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 I guess they gonna hit that when they can. I don't know, but that's not my ministry, so I don't even really. I can't even. I honestly, I've just seen the articles about it. I haven't actually seen any backpackers in my actual site. I've just seen it. I've seen people post pictures of them in like different travel groups that I'm in, but it definitely is a problem. It's like, it's not even about not having the money to travel, because it's like Asia is so cheap. Like, literally all the times I ran out of money as well, it's like I never was on the side of the street begging for money from the local people. It's like, obviously this is a third world country. That makes no sense, you know what I mean? You're trying to take the little bit that these people have. That's just not cool. But even just, it's so many opportunities even if you run out of money, because it's like you can live in a temple for a little bit if you wanted to, like, it's so many options. Like, it's so many options. Like, it's workaways. Like, if you run out of money in Thailand, there is so, or in Asia, in Southeast Asia, there is so many things that you can do legitimately to be okay, and so many things where you don't have to compromise yourself as well. So yeah, I can't. I can't. I have no respect for backpackers. Like, I have no fucking respect. Like, you begging local people who are poor for their last little money. Like, sir, ma'am, no. Sir, ma'am, no. But yeah, so basically recently a couple of things happened. One, I was talking to, I basically have been networking with a new person, and on three different, not, well, two things happened on one occasion, but something else happened on another occasion where we were talking about cost of living. I'm gonna have to tell y'all straight up, like, this is what it is. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to put you on blast, sir. But we were talking about cost of living, and they sent me a picture of a homeless person, because apparently what I said, because I just believe in being straight up. Like, if honestly, I didn't even tell them that I was looking for something, because looking for a place in I didn't tell them that I was looking for a place where I didn't like, I hadn't reached out to them personally. Basically, I had reached out to another friend, and I'm like, look, this is what's happening next. This is what my budget is. If you know something, or if you know someone who is renting, let me know. And everybody networks, so I get it. But they ended up reaching out to me directly and was like, hey, this person told me that you're looking for something. And so I reiterated, like, yeah, I'm looking for this is what my budget is, da 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 da. And they were telling me different things about my budget wasn't really reasonable, and I'm all for honesty, okay? Like, I prefer honesty, but I'm sensitive in a sense, and I value people taking an appropriate approach with me. Like, I do not like to be put on blast, so don't do that shit to me ever. Like, that's a surefire way to, like, get me looking at you hella sideways and to fucking remove myself. Like, I don't like people putting me on blast. It makes me uncomfortable. And I don't like, I just prefer for people to be straight up with me. So he was telling me about the basically that what my budget was not gonna work. And granted, your budget always gonna work. It might not be what you expect. Like, you might have to do a hostel or some shit, but your budget always gonna work. It'll work, okay? So he was telling me basically what my budget was for what I wanted, which I was pretty open as well about what I wanted. And he just was kind of like telling me like that my budget was not high enough. But his approach to telling me that was sending me a picture of a homeless person. And I told him straight up, like, I ended up telling him, I was just like, look, I know we new to one another, but let me tell you about these three things that you have done that has been insensitive. Like, I appreciate the, information that you're sharing with me. However, your approach is really insensitive because one, this has happened, and I gave examples. One, this happened, that didn't work well for me. Two, this happened, and I also told him why. Like, one, this happened, and this is why it was insensitive for me. Two, this happened, and this is why it was insensitive to me. And three, you sent me this picture of this homeless person, and it was insensitive to me because I have been homeless before, and I don't find it funny or cute. And I know in this type of world, like in this day and age, a lot of people like to joke and shit. A lot of people like to prank people. I'm not like, don't prank me, because you gonna fuck around and get punched in your motherfucking throat. Like, don't. I am not about the prank life, okay? I am not about the prank life, and I'm not about the joke life. Like, what you find funny, I'm not gonna find funny. And you sending me a picture of a homeless person, I don't find that shit funny or cute, because it's like really insensitive to me. Like, one, it's like, I've been homeless before, so I don't find it funny. I don't find it something light to be joking about. And two, just based off of my background, it's like, because I'm coming from CPS, and because it's like I have to figure out my own finances, it's like that is something that always kind of haunts me a bit, of like, making sure that I take care of myself so I'm not homeless. You know what I mean? So these are insensitive things. So that's basically how I broke it down to him. That's how I communicated to him maturely, because I didn't go off on him, y'all. Like, I didn't like yell at him. I didn't scream at him. Now, granted, I did take a stern tone, which I do. I am realizing, I think maybe this is going to shift the more that I am voicing my opinion, the more that I'm addressing things head on. I think that my tone will start to change. But I do realize that, like, when I am upset, like when I feel like somebody has done something that I don't like, that niceness kind of switches. Like, it's like it's not like I get pissed, but it's like it's definitely a different energy within me, and it's like, no bitch. Like, it's like a no bitch type of energy. That's really what it is. And so it definitely was like a stern energy of like, look, I realize that you being helpful with this information. I appreciate you being helpful with this information, but it's not going to come off nice or cool to me if this helpful information is accompanied by insensitive actions. And this is what I told him. But I took a very stern tone. And I just told him, for example, and I'm bringing this, like I told him straight up, I'm bringing this to your attention because we are new to each other. I realize that we don't know each other, but I need to let you know, it's vital that I let you know that these things bothered me because I don't want it to happen again. And you need to know that this ain't gonna work for me. Like, if we're gonna be friends or whatever we're building here, you need to know that this is not gonna work for me. And if I don't tell you, you ain't gonna know, and this shit gonna happen again, and it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. So no. And I just told him straight up, like, one, this happened, this is why. Two, da 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 da, this is why. Three, this happened, this is why. And that was very insensitive. Now, when we had this conversation, he came back to me very understanding. He understood 2 out of the 3 points. He didn't quite understand my second point, but I had to break it down a little bit more because my second point was really like being put on blast. He didn't understand how he put me on blast, but I had to break it down. It's like, if you don't give me full information and then you're putting me on the spot to give, to say something that I don't have Like if I like I'm not a person like I can be quiet sometimes, y'all. Like sometimes I have quiet tendencies. Like I'm not the type of person where I feel like a space needs to be filled with talk all the time. Like sometimes I'm just like I'm just chilling, I'm just observing, I'm just being present. And in that particular setting, I guess he felt like, which he expressed this, he felt like he wanted to give me an opportunity to speak, and he wanted to make sure that my opinion was being heard. However, I told him like I appreciate you wanting to make sure that my voice is heard. However, it was just slighted because I didn't have all the information. And it's like on two different moments you're telling me you're like almost forcing me to give an opinion where I don't have one, where I don't want, like if I have, like I don't just make points just to be making points, you know. I don't just fill space with words just to be talking. Like that's just not my cup of tea, and I don't like being put on the spot. So I just had to, like, he didn't quite understand how I felt put on the spot, so I just had to break it down a little bit more as to why. But he was very receptive, so I really appreciated that, because a lot of times when you're trying to communicate with people and you trying to tell them, because I just feel like people get upset sometimes, people get mad at you for telling them that something bothers you. And I think this is why sometimes communicating can be so hard for people, or why communicating, specifically when there's conflict. Some shit is in my eye. Some shit is really up in my eye. And everybody texting me. I love that you have so much integrity. Thanks, love. First of all, Charlie, where you been? Where you been? Honey. And happy Mother's Day. Happy, girl. Some shit is really up in my eye. Woo, some shit is in my eye. Where you been, Charlie? Where you been hiding? Let me know. Girl, I'm gonna text you after I get up off of here. I hope I don't forget. Don't let me forget, Spirit. Thank you. Dang, girl, I missed you. I feel like I remember. Oh my God, some shit is really in my eye. I need one of y'all to be here to blow in my eye, because something is in it. Hold up. OMG. Yeah, y'all, that's really, I think, yeah, my integrity is why I can't have a sugar daddy situation. Because first of all, I don't give a damn about how much money you give me. You're not finna talk to me crazy, and you're not finna treat me like I'm a piece of ass. Like I can't with the people. And people definitely be feeling like, oh, I done gave you some money, now I own you. And I can't with none of that. Charlie, it has been a whole journey. I've missed you too. We gonna have to catch up. We need to talk real soon. We gonna have a conversation real soon, because I had, like, you definitely crossed my mind. I feel like you came across my timeline or some kind of way. You crossed my mind recently, and I was like, damn, where the hell Charlie ass is at? I ain't seen her in a minute. So yeah, I appreciate this guy being very understanding to my point of view. I appreciate him. I appreciate us being able to have an adult conversation. And he even said it too. He was like, look, I'm still maturing in my own communication, so thank you for telling me. And he just was saying, you know, don't ever feel like you can't tell me, because I, like, the first two things that bothered me, I didn't tell him initially. I just kind of, because I just be feeling like, is it worth my energy? You know what I mean? Like, I really just be assessing, like, if a conversation is worth my energy. And initially, it just kind of felt like those two things bothered me, but it wasn't really worth my energy initially to bring up. But then once we started texting a lot more about different networking things, and then that picture from that homeless picture just was like a hell to the motherfucking dog to me. Like when I got that picture, because it's like, first of all, you're texting me this information and you're approaching shit, and it's like, I ain't asked you for your motherfucking help, okay? I didn't, like, I appreciate you, you know, texting me because you found out through the grapevine that I'm, you know, finna be doing some ones and some twos. However, comma. I didn't ask you for that shit, and I didn't ask you to be coming over here with this crazy ass picture and shit. So my energy definitely shifted a bit, but I realized when I was open with him, my energy shifted back because it was off of my chest, you know. Like I told him straight up, like literally after he sent me that picture of the homeless person, I took that as, now it is worth my energy for me to let you know that this is a motherfucking problem. Like now at this point we're communicating a lot more. It is worth my energy to let you know, because now I am seeing a pattern. There has been 3 insensitive occasions that have happened, and I definitely feel like we're going to be communicating way more frequently. And if we're going to be communicating more frequently, I have to let you know that this should not be happening anymore. Because if it does, then I'm gonna block your ass. Like I don't give a fuck. I will block you. Like if I feel like, if I come to the conclusion in my spirit that your spirit is problematic for me, I don't have no time. I don't give a damn who you are. You could be my blood family. Like I don't care. If your energy is problematic, I don't want to be around it, and I don't want to hold it. I don't want the pressure of it. Like I'm just trying to work my own damn energy, okay? I'm trying to get my own energy to vibrate high and figure out my own negative thoughts and combat that. Like I'm not trying to hold some shit that you trying to project on me. Like no, you can keep all of that. Thank you. So I just felt like at that point it was worth my mentioning, you know. And I think he took it very well, because a lot of times people don't take it well. Like when conflict arises, even if it's not even something big, even if it's just like, you did this, it doesn't make me feel good, I'm gonna need that not to happen again. Even if it's just like bringing it to someone's awareness, sometimes people can get really petty, and sometimes people can get really upset about that criticism. And I can't even lie, because I'm one of those people where I can get upset about, like, it's not really that I get upset about criticism, it's just like your approach matters to me. Like you can't come to me talking to me crazy. You got, like, if you're gonna approach me with love, you know. Approach me with love and just be like, sis, look, this happened, I didn't like it. Like, you know, like I have no problem apologizing. I have no problem having like an open conversation. But what I won't do is be, you know, attacked. You know what I mean? Like as long as you don't come at me in a crazy type of way, then I'm very receptive. But like if I'm attacked, then you're gonna get another side. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, well, first foremost, let's fix that approach, boo. You know, first and foremost, let's get that motherfucking approach together, because what I'm not is your child. That's what I'm not, okay? That's where we got to start it. And I think approach is very, very, very key. And I feel like for the most part, I feel like unless somebody has done something that really is a trigger for me, like that picture of a homeless person was a major trigger for me, because it's like, I've been homeless. Like why would you send somebody a picture of a homeless person? Like that ain't cool on no level. So definitely I hit him with a more, like, granted I didn't talk to him crazy, my tone was just very stern. Like I know that he knew from the way that I was talking that I wasn't playing. But I didn't come at him in like a rude, disrespectful way, or you did this, or da 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 da. I backed everything up with, this is what happened, this is why I feel that it was insensitive, you know. Like really not pointing the finger, but just laying out the facts, I think is really key. And how you approach somebody, I think, is really key. Now I had another situation where I didn't really know how to approach it in the moment, and what I realized, well, I learned a lesson from this situation. So Here in Salvador, girl, I feel like, girl, um, here in Salvador, it's very common for people to share food. Like, things definitely come in family size. And I'm used to this because I lived in Asia and people share food a lot in Asia as well. Like, it's definitely a family type of setting where either portions are really small or everybody just, everybody comes together, a bunch of different things are ordered, everybody just eat off of everything and everybody splits the bill at the end. So my thing, so we've been eating out like a couple of different places here since I've been in Salvador. Well, technically normally when I eat out by myself, it's like the plates are big, like maybe also because I'm coming from Asia and my stomach has gotten used to those smaller portions. So like even tonight when I went out, like I don't even think I ate half of that food and I just took all the rest of it to go. So I'm all down for like I love a sharing food moment. Like, like we gonna split this bill, make it even more affordable for everybody involved, and we gonna eat good. So I'm all down for a sharing moment. So I went out to eat with these girls here. One of the black girls, it was like it was four of us. One of the black girls I knew, and then I was meeting one black girl who was new to me, and then it was this white lady with them, with who I think the white lady and the black girl came together. Apparently I think they lived at the same place. So what happened was they were already at this restaurant. They were already eating. I was like at another cafe getting some work done, and we were supposed to be meeting up at different points, but I was like, no, I need to get this assignment done. I need to send this email. Once I finish this is when I can meet you guys. Which is also another thing, guys, being able to say no to people, because in this social scene, I think when people are social, people definitely be trying to take up all your time and all your energy. And it definitely, I'm realizing when people be wanting to hang out with you, it's like they be putting pressure on you. It's like, I want to see you here, or I'm gonna be here, come meet me here. And it feels like pressure, but I just also think you gotta say no. Like I like, if you got some shit to do, no, I can't hang out with you right now. I want to hang out with you, but I cannot. There is something that I need to take care of. Once I take care of that, then I can hang out with you. Having that, power within yourself to say no, god damn it, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Like, I want to, but no. Like, I'm not gonna be running around this motherfucker trying to get rushed through what is a priority for me today so that I can link up with you. Like, that's not gonna make me feel good. Like, first of all, I hate to fucking rush. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves as well. Like, I don't like to be rushed. I don't like rushing to do shit. And when I find myself in rushing situations, my spirit definitely be irritated. So that's not going to be good for neither one of us involved. Like, I'm going to be irritated, and it's like the energy is not going to be good for us. Like, I'm not going to be having fun. I'm going to be ready to go. And then I'm going to be thinking about what I really need to be doing. So whatever priorities you have, don't be scared to tell people no. Like, no, I can't hang out with you today. No, I got another priority that I need to make sure that gets taken care of. Nope, unfortunately I want to hang out with you, but it's some other things that I need to do. No, y'all say it with me. No, shit. Like, no, because people will definitely be trying to take your time. Girl, she said you are hilarious. No, but I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Like, this is really trying to give y'all some examples for anybody who has ever struggled with communication, because I just feel like I'm getting to a point now where my communication is getting better, because I have really made it a point to grow in this area. Like, this has been a big area for me to grow in. It has been a huge area for me to grow in, because I really feel like I have been learning how to communicate better through situations, through things happening. I didn't learn how to communicate in the home. I didn't learn how to communicate properly in conflicts in, when I was younger. So it's like I've been learning this since I have been on my own in my adulthood. And this is like real life shit that be happening. People be trying to take all your time, and I think sometimes people do be feeling obligated to show up for people, and it's like, on one end, yeah, you want to hang out. You don't want people to feel like they being blown off and shit. But fuck all of that. Like, fuck all of that shit. If you are not taking care of what your priorities are, how you gonna be even feeling good to be around them? Like, the whole time you gonna, like, that just is a spiral of negativity, because it's like figuring out, okay, now I gotta push back what I need to do. You know what I mean? And then, like, it's really like, yeah, baby, you gonna have to be selfish sometimes. And I don't give a fuck about nobody calling me selfish. Like, I think it used to bother me. It used to bother me when people would call me selfish, but I have become really clear on the fact that this is my universe. This is the energy that I control. So if you don't understand that I have a priority that needs to be met at this point, and that I can't hang out with you, then I mean, what I mean, I can't help you, boo. Like, I can't help you, and I'm not finna inconvenience myself to go to hang out with you. Like, I'm just not about to do it. Like, no. Like, no, sis, and you shouldn't want me to. Like, you shouldn't want me to. Like, not that I be blowing people off, but I'm very clear about, like, if I gotta get some stuff done, or if it's something like, what, let's say it's some school work or something business related, something getting me closer to these coins, I'm gonna be doing what I need to be doing. You know what I mean? So I don't give no fucks about you feeling blown off. Like, if, or even sometimes it's like, let's say somebody invited you somewhere and you wanted to go, and then when it comes down to it, you realize you don't have enough energy, because you may have worked all day, you may be tired, you may have put way too much stuff on your plate that day. It is okay for you to say, you know what, love, I really wanted to come and support you, but unfortunately my energy is completely depleted. I would put way too much stuff on my, like, just be honest with people instead of lying or saying all this other shit that is really irrelevant. Just be honest with somebody. I don't have enough energy for this right now. Thank you for inviting me, but unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to come because I just don't have enough energy. And if you can't understand that my energy is depleted and you get upset behind that, like, you're not somebody I need in my life anyways. Like, I just feel like the people that you gotta be mindful about the people that you have around you. Like, I want people around me who are uplifting my energy and I can uplift their energy as well, and who care about, like, my energy being low. Like, I need to recharge right now, so let me recharge in peace. Like, I don't want to take on the pressure of you feeling some kind of way. Like, I don't give a fuck about you feeling some kind of way. Like, I need to be thinking about what I feel, just like you need to be thinking about what you feel. I need to be thinking about what I feel, and I don't want to hold the pressure, because I've been feeling like, I had a moment too with this girl, and I had to tell her, because it was like we were talking, and a lot of times, like, I'll say things and she's like, that's mean, don't be mean. And I was like, bitch, I'm not being mean. This is like real shit. Like, this is like real, like, I'm being honest with you. And I just feel like sometimes people try to play it off and try to make it seem like you being mean. No, I'm being honest. You can't handle it, and now you're trying to make me feel bad for my truth, and I'm not gonna feel bad for my truth. Like, no. I'm not finna do it with you. Like, no. She's hard as that says, you're exactly right. I do it all the time. I'm telling you, like, it just gets to a point where you can't overextend yourself. Like, your energy is fucking important. I know I'm probably cussing a lot right now, but your energy is important, and you are no good to nobody if your energy is depleted. So, like, what's the point of me showing up to hang out with you and my energy is on zero? Like, I ain't got nothing to offer. Like, I'm gonna be, like, you can't be mad at me if I done showed up and my energy on zero and I'm irritated. Like, you may be mad at me, but I mean, I showed up. Like, nah, I'm just not with none of that. I'm just not with none of that. I just believe in being straight up. So I said I was gonna come, but there's always room for a change. Like, I know sometimes people be feeling so obligated because it's like, well, I said I was gonna do this for them. Okay, you said you was gonna do that for them, but now look, some things have changed. Some new situations and some new circumstances have arose. So based on the current circumstances, I am unfortunately unable to follow through on that. And I'm giving you an update. At least I didn't like just, not tell you. I like, look, I can't do that anymore. I know what we said, but unfortunately, I don't have enough energy. Girl, this is like my biggest like blueprint. My biggest like blueprint of all times right now. I do not have enough energy to do this right now, love. Basically. Like, how can you argue with that? Like, you cannot argue with that. I do not have enough energy to do this. Yes, we discussed it, but now I cannot because I don't have enough energy, or it's something else that I need to take care of first. Thank you for being understanding, because I don't like saying sorry either, because I just feel like saying sorry is a very low vibrational energy, and it just brings low vibrational pressure. So you just should flip that. Like, we're trying to flip. For me personally, I'm saying we because we all on a journey, girl. We all on a journey, so come on. We trying to be better, right? So I have been very mindful about my thought process and really checking my thoughts. Like, y'all know how sometimes I be like, ooh, that's crazy. Like, y'all know I've been changing that to this is fascinating, because it's like, it's really not crazy when spiritual things happen. Like, why do we say that? Why do we be like, shit is crazy when spiritual things are happening? Like, it ain't crazy. It's fascinating that spirit is working on our behalf, okay? Like, we need to switch all of these thought processes to more positive things, and the way that you do that is by really paying attention to what you're saying and what you're thinking. And then once you realize that it's certain things that you're saying that are negative, then you start switching that. And when you feel like, oh shit, I done said crazy, no, right after that, switch it back to what you're changing it to. Over time, you'll eventually stop saying it in a negative way and say it in a positive way. So I don't even like saying sorry. Like, I like to just say thank you. Thank you for being patient, uplifting a person instead of trying to bring it down to like, oh, I'm sorry that no, fuck that. you know Charlie said, I'm horrible about having to cancel plans. I feel guilty about it for years. I know, like, I used to be that way. And when I was in Houston, I think what got me out of that is, like, like, literally, y'all, I was homeless and I was working the hell out of that networking scene, okay? Baby, honey, child, like, I just really had a breakdown in my car because the amount of work that I was doing, like, girl, your girl was working her ass off. Like, I am a Taurus, okay? Like, Taurus people have no problem putting in work. So can you imagine? Like, literally, like, right when I got out of college, I was working, okay? I was working. Like, I was really building my brand, and I was like, literally, I had different friends in different places who were in the industry and in connecting industries, and I was just networking a lot. I was doing a lot of, photo shoots. I had worked at a salon for a little bit. Well, I was renting a booth at a salon, but then I kind of got kicked out because I couldn't pay my booth rent. It was a lot going on, but I was like, when it all comes down to it, it's like, I was homeless, and all these people I was back bending for to show up for could not show up for me in my time of need. None of these motherfuckers opened up their house for me to say, come live with me. I know you home. Like, granted, I didn't put it on blast that I was homeless, but I do know for a fact that it was like, it was some of my friends. I'm gonna say they was my friends. We gonna just let that lay where it's at. However, comma. I remember vividly, it was at one point, it was like some girls that I knew and they knew that I was struggling and they knew that I was homeless. But see, this is how crazy people are sometimes. Like, they will know that you are struggling and they want the pride of you coming to them begging them, instead of just saying, sis, or pulling you to the side and saying, sis, I see that you're struggling, how can I help you? You know what I mean? I see that you're going through, how can I help you? Instead of just being genuine, it's like, and behind your back they talking about your ass between them and some other friends, and they like, yeah, I know she's struggling, but she don't want to tell us or whatever. But you don't never really know what people are going through or how people are struggling with their communication, which I definitely was struggling, you know. And I remember these girls like around that time, because it was like I didn't ask anybody for anything. Like, I was homeless and I still was like working my ass off. Like, I still was like going to different networking things, still like grind, like I was grinding. Okay, I was grinding. Like, when I tell y'all that breakdown in my car was real as fuck. Okay, it was real. It was real. Like, that conversation with Jesus and God, that moment to before I left the country was real, because I really felt like I had hit a rock bottom and I had no help. And it's like, I been back breaking myself to meet all these people and do all these things for these people and overextending myself, and really in my time of darkness, none of y'all had my back. None of y'all could help me. And even the few, like those girls who knew that I was struggling and knew that something was wrong with me, not one time did they come to me and say, hey, I see you struggling, how can I help you? I see that you're going through, can I help you get to a better place? No, instead they wanted to like kind of bring some conflict to me. And then it wasn't even a heated argument, because like I ain't really arguing with motherfuckers. Like, I will remove myself before I fucking get into an argument with somebody, or even if you're trying to argue with me, it's like, bitch, I'm not listening to none of that. Like, chow chow, goddamn it, chow chow. So in one of those situations where they were trying to be petty, it was like they brought it to my attention, like, oh, well, we knew something was going on, but why you didn't say something? Why you didn't offer some help? You know what I mean? So I just don't feel like you should be feeling guilty about having to cancel plans, because at the end of the day, if another person needs to cancel a plan, they are going to cancel it. I just feel like what will get you out of that is just being honest about it. Like, thank you so, like, just say thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate you wanting to have me there and wanting me to be present for your event. Unfortunately, I know I really wanted to come, but I just don't have enough energy for it now, or something else has come up. And a lot of times as well, what I realized during, like, a little bit after that time, I stopped confirming plans with people immediately. And I think this will help you as well with that guilt. Like, because I know, like, sometimes, I don't know if you guys do this, but I feel like during that period of time for me, it was a lot of times where I was overextending myself, because when people would tell me about stuff, because I'm definitely like a type of person that likes to help other people. I'm not gonna say I'm a people pleaser, because I think I'm beyond that spirit, that people pleaser spirit now. I'm like focused on making sure my energy is good, but granted, it's like I don't mind helping if I can. You know, if I got enough energy to help you, if I didn't help myself, because it's like really like how they are on an airplane. You got to help yourself first, and then you can help other people. So if I didn't help myself first and I got enough extra energy for you, I am more than willing to help you out as well. But part of that overextending myself, I stopped telling people that automatically, like, yeah, I'm gonna come, you know, or yeah, oh girl, I'm gonna definitely be there. Instead, what you should say is, oh, I would love to come, but let me check my calendar first. Amen. Because off bat, that does not secure you to be there. And then you can have a few days or however long it's gonna take you, because even if they reach out to you later and say, hey, I haven't heard from you, are you gonna be able to come? I'm checking out a few things. There's a couple of elements on my calendar that are a little bit up in the air, and I'm trying to get some confirmation on that first, and then I'll be able to confirm with you. So don't let nobody pressure you. Don't let no, because I think this is a big thing about be overextending yourself. It's almost like you feel a little pressure to say yes, and that's where that guilt, I feel like, comes in later, because it's like you feel this pressure to say yes, and then you say yes without really thinking about if you're actually going to be able to do it, and then later on you realize like, shit, I done told these motherfuckers I could do this shit, and then you realize like, I really can't do this shit, but I now done said I gotta do it, so I gotta do it. No, just from jump, don't even confirm from jump. Like from jump, just be like, that sounds amazing, I would love to be there, but let me check my calendar first. That was such an amazing, powerful moment for me in my communication, because it really just gave me that time to think like, can I actually do this shit? Like that sound good, because even if you're a people pleaser, like off top, you definitely be like trying to overextend. It's just, in the nature of people who are good-hearted, you know what I mean? But that gives you a period of time, like a little bit of a grace period, for you to think about, can you actually do this, or will, because sometimes it's like you might have a bunch of things on your schedule. You might have some things that you probably even forgot about on your schedule. So if you don't even, confirm off bat, that just gives you a little grace period. And then you can always come back later and say, oh, you know what? That sounds so amazing, and I really want to come. But after looking at my calendar, I have so many things already booked this week, so I'm not going to be able to do it. And that kind of frees you up from feeling any type of guilt. If you're feeling guilt after that, I think that just comes from some inner work that you need to do with yourself. Maybe finding some affirmations about self-guilt and start seeing, I don't know any off the top of my head, but Google got everything. So find some affirmations and say them, okay? Find some affirmations and say them. And then, of course, if you do book something with somebody and then you realize like, nah, because off bat, if you tell somebody I gotta look at my calendar first, that eliminates a lot of shit off bat. But let's say you still book something that you later on realize that you don't want to do. It's fucking okay to say, no, I can't do that no more. Like, yes, I know we talked about it. Now things have changed. And unfortunately, either I don't have enough energy or I don't have enough time after I realized that it was a couple of things that I forgot about. Or either some priorities popped up that I need to give my energy to and my focus to. I really wanted to be like, I really wanted to come. I did. But I can't. I can't. And that's what it is. And if you don't understand and you upset and you in your feelings, like, I ain't nothing I can do about it. It ain't nothing I can do about it. Because my energy is most important to me. Just like your energy is most important to you. It should be. It should be. Charlie said, I finally had to give myself permission to take care of my company, marriage, and children before my social life. Amen. Yes, girl, those are your priorities. Those are your priorities. I just feel like, I think people really got life and bullshit all fucked up. Y'all remember? I had to say that because I just feel like it's been a minute since I said that, and I really believe it. Like, people really got this game fucked up. People really got it fucked up. It's like they really be wanting you to overextend yourself for them, knowing damn well that they would not do it for you if the shoe was reversed. And at the end of the day, it's like, we all grown. We all grown. We are not in high school anymore. Like, I know sometimes people do be feeling blown off because they ain't seen you in a while, or they ain't hung out with you, or whatever, or you cancel some plans, or you ain't able to go to whatever they having. Like, people really be thinking like we still in high school. Like, we are not in high school. We are grown-ass human beings. We got whole families. We got whole businesses. We got whole spiritual things we trying to grow. We got whole emotional things and family ties we trying to heal. Like, it's a lot going on in this world. Hello, it's a lot going on in this world, and I'm not finna be playing these high school games with you. No. No. Hell no. Okay, this is the theme of the year. We are not playing these games. No. No, 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 no. She always says, especially us women, yep, we feel obligated to always say yes. That's because how this universe is, how this society has been set up. It always is kind of set up as like we should overextend ourselves. We gotta be superwoman. We gotta do it all. We gotta take it all. We gotta shut up and be cute. Nah, fuck all of that shit. Y'all can lick my whole ass crack. I'm not playing these games with you, and I'm not taking all this shit that you projecting on me. No. No, goddamn it, no. I don't know, like I just really feel like my goddess is out and she is not playing games. Okay, she is not playing games right now. Like she just really like, you gonna get what is available. Okay, and if I ain't got no time available, I ain't got no time available. Okay, that is what it is. And this is an interesting point as well, because recently as well, it's a lot of communication things that's been happening, but I feel like I've been doing really good. Oh my god, I didn't even really tell y'all what happened with this lady. So let me go back to the story. Okay, so I went to dinner with these people, right? We having a family, well, granted, the norm here is a lot of times we share food, but as I said, I told them no about meeting them earlier because I was working on my own thing. And honestly, you know, too, sometimes people be trying to come out the blue with like, oh, we just decided we're gonna go here, you should meet us. Baby, I'm actually already at the cafe working on some shit, so I'm gonna finish what I'm doing. And after I'm finished, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I'm available to meet, if I got enough energy to meet after that. So that's why I ended up telling her. I was like, look, y'all go do what y'all gonna do. I'm already here working on something, and once I'm finished, I will text you and I will see where you're at. And after I was done, I realized that she was at one of my favorite little places, Ocravino, which is actually where I did my live video on Instagram today. So I went and met them. Now I'm meeting them late. So the three of them had already ordered food. Like they had already had a conversation about what they was gonna order. And personally, when we go to Ocravino, this lady, the girl that I know, she always gets this shrimp dish, and I don't like that shit. So I never go half on them with this food. So we all sitting at the table, we all talking. The white lady, she was cool, but it was kind of awkward because it was like, it's these three black women sitting at this table, and we're talking about race and different little things that affect us as black women. So I just kind of felt like maybe she just felt uncomfortable with the conversation, so she wasn't really saying much, and she just kind of was in her own little world. But I also don't believe in like singling people, like leaving people out. So at different points I was like trying to include her, or like just asking her questions so she didn't feel left out. So mind you, everybody had already ordered their food. Like they had already ordered what the three of them were gonna eat. So when I got there late, I ordered what I was gonna eat. Okay, so we got there. They finally bring out my food. Like they had already ordered their food. Their food had came out. They're eating their food, and I did not touch their food because first of all, I didn't even want that shit. So my food comes out, and the white lady literally starts like eating my fries. She starts eating my fries, y'all. She starts eating my fries. And I'm just kind of like, first of all, I'm just having a moment with myself because I didn't know how to handle this situation. And I think it's situations like this where I be learning how to communicate better, because now I know how to handle this situation moving forward. But she started eating my fries, knowing damn well this is not what they ordered as a group, because I was not even here when y'all ordered y'all food, and it was like they was on a budget a bit, so I believe that they ordered according to their budget. So I get my food out, I haven't even touched my food, but she is like eating my fucking fries, right? And I'm like, granted, y'all, I'm not one of those food people where I'm gonna kill somebody behind eating my food or anything. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I do be having snicker moments, like if I haven't eaten, but I don't have any problem sharing. My biggest thing is like, if we sharing this food, are we sharing this bill? You know what I mean? Like, unless I didn't offer to pay, because it's times as well where I don't mind paying for the food, you know, where I'm like, you know, this is my treat type of thing. But obviously, this is my first time meeting these two ladies, and you're just digging up in my plate, eating my fries. And then at one point, girl, she started seasoning my fucking fries. And I'm just looking at her like the audacity. Like, how do you season my food before I even season my food? And I'm in my head thinking about this, but the conflict, because I was just thinking, like, how do I say this without putting this woman on blast? Because y'all, I really don't believe in putting people on blast like that. Like, I'm the type of person, like, if I have an issue, I'm going to pull you to the side. And this is a this is I do this because I don't like to be put on blast. Like, if it's a group setting and somebody trying to put me on blast, baby, that is like, that burns my motherfucking biscuit. Okay, that will burn my biscuit. Like, I do not like it, so I don't do it to other people, and that's just, common courtesy. But I felt like she didn't have any etiquette, because it's like, why are you seasoning my food? Why are you eating my food? I wasn't even here when y'all ordered. And then at one point, before our food had even came, I had expressed that I hadn't even eaten that day. Like, that was my first meal of the day. Like, because I had woke up like hella late, and then I just was like, I think all I had was like some fucking gelato ice cream. So I didn't know, like, I didn't say anything because I was having conversations in my head. Like, I was real. First of all, I was like, wait a minute, am I tripping? And then I was just trying to figure out in my head how to say something. I was like, how do I, like, how do I address this? Because this is definitely an issue. Like, how do I address this without putting this woman on blast in this group setting? Because as well, it was like another woman there that I didn't know. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in putting people on blast in group settings. Like, I just feel like that's such a way to degrade a person, or to, minimize a person. So I don't like to do that. But I couldn't figure out how to tell her that. And then when the check came, like, they just put in on their food, but you didn't ate like, this is a plate. Like, when I go to this place, like, I always take food home with me if I'm eating by myself, or if I'm having my own, like, little dish, because it's a big plate. So it's like, you done ate my meal for for tomorrow. You done ate my leftovers, bitch. You done ate my leftovers, and you ain't put no coinage in on this, okay? No coinage, okay? And I just was like, what I was going to do was message her later, because I was thinking that it needed to be addressed, because it really did bother me. Like, even like I think I kind of like brushed it off in the moment, because I didn't know how to handle it. Like, I'm telling y'all, I'm still learning how to communicate. Like, I don't have it all the fucking way together. Like, sometimes it's certain moments that I've already experienced and I have learned my blueprint, so I just insert my blueprint and move on. But then it's other times where situations like this pop up, and I'm kind of like, well, this is new. What we do here? How are we supposed to handle this? And in the process, like, I think in the moment, because I was just a little bit in shock, as well as, like, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't really know how to say it without putting her on blast in front of everybody, that I just kind of like brushed it off a bit, and I just was like, you know what, I'll just message her later. But even like, cause the next morning I woke up, and I think maybe because I wanted my food and I was mad about it, and I was like, this motherfucker really just ate my goddamn food and seasoned my food. So it was still on my spirit the next morning. This is why it's important for you to speak up in those moments, because it's like, if you don't, it's like, it definitely lingers with you. So what I thought that morning, because I was like, the next morning I was like, damn, this shit is definitely still on my spirit. Like, I'm definitely still mad about the way this lady just had no etiquette. And it wasn't even just against me, y'all, because my friend had bought like a big water for everybody. Like, she just really didn't have any fucking etiquette, like no table manners at all. Because this lady, my friend, bought like a big water for everybody, and literally everybody else at the table pouring water in the cup, she takes the bottle and takes it to the head, putting her whole fucking lips on the bottle. And it's just like, where is your etiquette? Where the hell is your etiquette? Like, no, what the fuck? Like, you didn't buy this water. Why are you putting your lips on it? There's cups on this table. Like, what? Like, what is going on? So the next morning I was still like a little bit mad about it, and I was thinking, I reached out to my friend and I said, you know what, do you know the Facebook deets or the contact deets for this white lady? Well, I knew her, I can't remember her name at this point, but I knew her name at that point because it was like really fresh. So I was like, do you know the contact details of such and such, and of such and such, because I just personally felt like I needed to message her because I felt like it was still on my spirit. But then that process seemed like too fucking much, so I just felt like energetically it wasn't worth it. Like, I don't feel like going between all these motherfucking people to get your details to message you about some food. Like, I don't have enough energy. That's taking energy from me to even do that shit. But I realized, one, I won't be having dinner with them again. Hell fucking no. Like, we won't be eating together again. That's what I realized, one. And two, what I learned was that I just need to ask questions. Like, because in that moment, like, I realized this after the fact, but I could have definitely asked her in that moment, like, are we both paying for this? Because we need to get clear on what is happening. So if we not both paying for this, why are you seasoning my food like we are? And you're eating my food without asking me like we are. You know? Like, I think asking questions is definitely the biggest lesson that I got out of that moment. Just getting clarity, you know? Getting clarity on what the situation is. So, moving forward, I know how to handle that type of situation. But in the light of that, I've been having a lot of character building moments. I should go get some water, but I'm gonna get off of this soon because we've been on live for a minute. And I'm gonna go eat this cake. I got this like lime cake, girl. It's like a lime pound cake. It's so fucking delicious. And I don't know about y'all, but I love to heat up desserts like cake, pie, cobbler, all of that. I like it to be hot, like either fresh hot out of the oven, or I will reheat it in the microwave, get my whole little blessing, like, ooh. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off soon, heat this cake up, have some water, have a whole little moment. So yeah, later on, I was talking to this guy, and I feel like it was a fly or something. I was talking to this guy, and I took this tip of asking him questions because I was feeling a little bit, like, I don't want to say that I was irritated, but like the moment before you fully irritated, like that feeling. I don't know what to call that feeling where your spirit is starting to like you know, like where things are happening and you're just kind of like, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Or what, you know, I guess this type of situation is where I guess a little confusion, uneasy. Thank you, Guinness guy. Hi, welcome in. Uneasy, yes. When your spirit is just a little bit uneasy, right? So we've been talking, and a couple of things have been happening that left me a little bit uneasy. Oh, that was perfect wording. Thank you. So a couple things happened that have been leaving me uneasy, and I just feel like, especially when you're feeling uneasy, that is the best time for you to ask questions for clarity. So particularly, I think, like, he kind of does this weird thing sometimes where he's like, I'm gonna have you call me, or some shit like that. I don't know. I just, maybe I'm just a little weird in that sense, but I don't like that. Don't put the ball in my court like that. Like, if you want to call me, goddamn it. Like, pick up the fucking phone, or tell me, I want to talk to you later today. Are you free? Like, I'm just really, like, I'm a direct person, y'all. Like, I'm just real direct, and I don't like people. I don't like the indirectness of conversations with people. Like, I don't like people to be trying to make plans with me indirectly, you know, like that just leaves way for confusion for me. So I don't want to be confused. I want to be really clear about what you want, what your intentions are, and what you mean. Like, I don't want to be confused. So don't be telling me no shit like that. And so it was something that he said about contacting. Basically, what happened was he had a couple of, like, yeah, be crystal clear, because I'm like, I'm not for the games. Like, y'all know, straight up, like, I will block a guy. Like, I will block his ass. I think sometimes with guys, they be trying to play games with me because, like, I'm sweet, you know, like, I'm sweet, like, I'm a sweet person. But I think that gets misconstrued sometimes because they don't realize that sweetness can flip, you know. And I'm not for taking shit from nobody. And I just personally feel like you can't play games with if there's no game board. You know what I mean? Like, I will remove myself quick. So while you thinking you finna play some games, you can't play games with somebody who's not on the board. That is where I'm at, you know. So he made some comments about calling him, but it wasn't crystal clear. And then I just kind of felt like I'm just very much so traditional in the sense of courting. Like, court me. You know what I mean? You want to talk to me? Call me. You know what I mean? Make me feel like you want me. You know what I mean? And I just wasn't really feeling that uneasiness about how he was going about trying to have some talks with me. And he basically messaged me and he asked me what I was doing for the day. And I told him, like, oh, I'm like studying, I'm reading, I'm getting some readings done, da 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 da. And he basically was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just call you or I'll talk to you later on. So almost like he wanted to call me, but he made assumptions about my free time based off of asking me what I was doing. And I just felt like that was so unclear. Like, if you wanted to talk to me, just ask me if I was fucking free. Like, why you beating around the bush? Like, why you be like, this is like, these are things that irritate me. I'm just like, no, fuck all of that shit. Like, quit playing games. Just ask me if I'm free, and I'll tell you if I'm free. You know. Because it's like, yeah, you know, somebody might have some things to do, but like, if you want to make time for somebody, you gonna make time for them. So I asked him a question. I was like, is this your way of asking? Because I've learned from my last little moment with this lady, like, I think it's best to ask questions when you're unclear. So instead of just assuming that this was his way of trying to say he wanted to talk to me, or say that if I had free time, I asked him, I was like, is this your way of trying to see if I have free time to talk? And he texted me talking about maybe. And then he texted me again trying to make it seem like it was a joke. He texted me again trying to make it seem like it was a joke. Because I guess he felt like, because he kind of, like, we've had a little bit of history. So he kind of knows a little bit my pet peeves a bit. And I guess as soon as he texted me maybe, not I guess, because he told me straight up. He was like, when he messaged me and he said maybe, he said that he knew that I wasn't gonna like that shit. He was like, oh shit, she not gonna like that. And so then he tried to clean it up, and he was trying to say, he sent me a message saying that it was a joke, but then he sent me a voice note and he was like, damn, what he said in his voice note, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was something about like he was just joking, and then he was making some more fucking assumptions. So I told him, like, I gave him a little rolling ass eye emoji, and I told him, I was just like, I don't like it when people aren't straightforward, and I don't like it when people make assumptions, because I just feel like there's no need for assumptions. I'm right here. You can ask me. I'm very open. I don't believe in lying. Either I'm gonna tell you the truth or I'm gonna tell you I don't want to talk about it. One or the other, you know, but I'm gonna be straight up. So There's no use. But at the same time, we talked a little bit after that. It's like he took it really hard, y'all. Like he took that as if I was like chewing him out, and I wasn't. And even like I sent him a voice note back, and I just was really clear about like, and y'all, I was talking motherfucking sweet, okay? Like it wasn't like I had came at him with like a harsh tone, you know? Like my tone was very much sweet as fuck, okay? So I'm over here sweet tone and just like telling him like, no, like I get, like I got your voice message, but there still was assumptions in there, and this still is not something that I like. And what else did I tell him? I can't even remember what else the fuck I told. Oh, I just told him that I just felt like these texts are cool, but I'm gonna need some balance. And I think where the irritation or the uneasiness is coming in at is that we've been texting a lot, and the texting is all cool and things, but there needs to be some balance where we actually have time to talk. Because I think what was happening, because like I said, we got a little history. Like it ain't like bad history, but we got a little history. And I think what was really happening with that uneasy feeling was that some things were resurfacing for me a little bit, where cause like initially with our old history, it was like it was just moments where I was feeling rushed, and that's something else I don't like. Like I don't like feeling rushed. Like I don't like this whole don't call me and then rush me off the phone, like, you know, as if you're not really interested in talking or checking in or to see, you know, like if you're gonna call me and actually have that time with me, you know what I mean? Like actually take the time to have a real conversation with me. Don't call me on some like rush type shit. Like I don't like it. Like, you know, it's almost kind of like a little bit inconsiderate to me, and almost like, you know, like you don't value my time, and like, you know, like as if having that time with me is not really important to you, you know what I mean? And all those kind of things don't work for me. They don't work for me. So that was really what was rising, and I was kind of having a moment with myself of like, nah, like, you know, just breathe, Courtney. It's not like, you know, like I just, you know, like I be processing things. Like I don't just be, you know, I don't just be going off, you know. Guinness guy said, don't do me no favors. Hello, don't do me no favors. Let's get down to basic. Hey, y'all listen to that song Cheers by Anderson .Paak? Y'all need to go listen to that. Y'all need to go listen to that. So we eventually talked later on, and he kind of just felt like, granted, part of this though, I think that I'm not going to say that he likes me a lot more than I like him, but I think there's some kind of energy along that lines here. And he basically felt like, girl, he was, first of all, he was hella nervous. Like, you know when you feel like you finna call your mama and you done did some shit, and you know you feel like she finna get in your shit. I feel like that energy from him, like he was nervous. And then when we actually talked, like we actually had a cool conversation, a cool mature conversation, where we just talked about what our feelings were, because I feel like he took it too hard, you know, like, but it kind of, in the same sense, it kind of was like a mental note, because I do feel like my approach wasn't harsh. I'm just telling you what I don't like, and we are new to each other. So just like there's going to be like, of course I got pet peeves, like everybody do. Everybody got pet peeves, and when those pet peeves arrive, you should be able to express that this is a pet peeve, I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. Like, if people don't know what you don't like, they're not going to be able to not let it happen. So you should be able to express that, and you should be able to be in your authentic self. But at the same time, it was like a little mental note, because like I said, like I text that little moment, but after that I sent him a voice note, and my tone was not harsh. My tone was very sweet. So I just kind of felt like, it's that stereotype where men always look at black women in a way of like problematic. Like I feel like a Latino woman could have probably said the same damn thing and it probably would have came off fucking sexy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that shit. And I was like, you know, like, you really just took this really hard, because he kind of was saying like he didn't want to feel like he was walking on eggshells and things like that. And I was like, at no point have I asked you to walk on eggshells, or am I trying, you know what I mean? Like, this the, like, you knew already that that shit wasn't gonna work. Talking about maybe that's, no, you already knew I was straightforward. So why would you, like, maybe it didn't register to you that this is a pet peeve, but let me help you get it registered in your mind that I like guys to be straightforward. Be straightforward. Like, it ain't walking on eggshells. If you have something that you know you want, say it. Shit, I can't read your fucking mind. Say what you want, and then I'm gonna let you know if I want it too, or if that's cool with me, or if it needs to be adjusted. You know what I mean? Or like if it's like a plan that's trying to be made, say what you want the plan to be. Like, you don't have to adjust how you gonna approach it. Just be straightforward and be honest. That's gonna always get you in the best place with me. Straightforward and honest. Like, stop beating around the bush, people. It ain't no time. I ain't got no time for that shit, because I'm like, really, the way my mind goes, it's like I already know what the fuck you want before we even get fully around the bush. But now I'm irritated because I feel like my time has been wasted. Like, and I feel like you trying to play me for boo boo the fool. Like, come on, like, just be straight, you know, just be straight up with it. So yeah, these are all the communication things that's been happening, and we had a cool conversation though. We actually talked, we iced everything over, because I just told him straight up, like, eventually there's gonna be some shit that I might do that might hit your pet peeves, and you gonna tell me like I don't like that, you know, and I will, you know, move accordingly, just like you gonna move accordingly about the shit that I don't like. Like, you just gonna be straightforward. It's like, you know, it is what it is. But I think people, I think people are not used to black women fully expressing themselves, especially in the moment. And I think at this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna, I'm at a place where I'm gonna tell you, gonna know, why I'm not fucking with you. Or if there's something you have done that I don't like, you're going to know. If it feels like it's worth my energy to let you know, you gonna know. And if you come to me and you ask me, because it's been several times, like, I just had to fucking do this with somebody today. It's been several times where it could be something as simple as, like, I don't like your energy. Your energy is either draining or negative as fuck, and I don't want to be around it. And I will tell you that. Like, I will tell you. If you ask me straight up, look, I've been trying to hang out with you, and I just feel like you blowing me off. If I'm really trying to blow you off, or I'm really trying not to be around you, I will tell you. Like, I will be straight up and honest with you. So that's just where I'm at. Like, you gonna know. I have no time to sugarcoat shit for people. And even like when I was telling him and I was talking sweet, it wasn't like intentionally talking sweet. It just was like, you know, you think that it's bigger than what it is, and it's really not that big to me. Like, it's not, you know, it's not that big in the sense of like I got upset to the point where I'm like, mad black woman, because I feel like that's how he took it, like, mad black woman and now I gotta walk on eggshells. But that wasn't where I was at. Like, that was not where my energy was at, and that's part of the reason why I sent him a voice note, because I think things do get misconstrued sometimes in texting. This is why you gotta balance out your communication with actually having physical talks, you know, or sending voice notes, because I do find that for me it's a lot easier to communicate with voice notes. Like, ever since voice notes popped up on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Facebook, baby, I use nothing but voice notes. I message everybody with voice notes. I know sometimes people be hating it because sometimes you can't go back and listen to voice notes for record purposes, but at the same time it's a lot easier for me to get my opinion out or to say what I have to say without the stress of like trying to make it look good in text form. I'm just like, no, this is what it is, you know, and you are very clear about how I feel about it because you can hear the tone of voice that I have. And my tone of voice was real chill. So I thought that like hearing my voice would take some of that edge off, but it didn't. And then when we actually had a conversation, I think that's when the edge came off, because I just was like, look, this, you just over fucking reacting. And it's not that. This is just what it is. And I'm sure when the shoe is on the other foot, you know, you gonna tell me. That is just what it's gonna be. Like, when you're learning somebody, you gotta give that space so that you can actually learn them. Like, how can you can't just learn the good things about people. Sometimes it's gonna be things that people don't like that you're gonna learn. And if you want to be in their energy, I don't think it's about walking on eggshells, but it's like on some real shit. As you learn a person and as you realize it's certain things that this person doesn't like, or it's certain things that hurt this person, if this is a person that you want to continue to spend time with and you want to build a healthy relationship, where whether it's a man woman friendship, networking, or what, you're going to be mindful of not doing things that they don't like, or not doing things that hurt them. Now, of course, with reasonableness, you know, if that's a word, with reason in mind, basically, you know. Like, of course, if somebody say, oh, I don't like hot chips or some shit, you know, or some random ass shit, you know, but like, it's not hard for you to be straight up. You can say what the fuck you want. Speak your mind. Hello? Say what it is, you know? Say it. I'm black and I'm proud. Hey. No, okay. Let me get up off here, y'all. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That is my journey right now with communicating better and communicating more maturely. This is also my tips so far and my blueprints for how I have been managing my communication and how I've been communicating better. So I hope this all helps you guys, especially with your own communication. Excuse me, let me just roll back, because I feel like I may have missed one comment. If you have anything else to say while I'm rolling back through the comments to make sure I didn't miss any, you can drop them now, because I'm about to hop off. So, speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, She Hearts that said... She said, I was saying the same thing. Europeans are the group of people who do not have a spiritual connection to the earth. Insert religion, not so much so spiritually. Honey, some people gonna be mad about that. But I mean... I don't know. I mean, I do feel like a lot of Europeans do have more religious type agendas. I do feel like it's pushed. I do feel like it has been something used to manipulate a lot of people. Like, honestly, y'all, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in religion. I realize that. I'm a spiritual person. And I believe that, like, I believe in God, okay? Like, just because I say I don't believe in religion does not mean that I'm some atheist, okay? Because I'm not an atheist. I do not believe in the devil and all that kind of crap. I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion, because I grew up in a lot of different foster homes. And I think for the longest... Girl, my grandma would cut me if she heard me say this, but I'm serious as hell, and she could hear me and I'll have to explain it to her. I say this because my grandma is heavy in the church. She is like low-key on the church board. Like, she is on the church board and she is real serious about it. Which is cool, you know. I don't think that because I'm non-spiritual, I mean, not non-spiritual, what the fuck I'm talking about? I don't think because I'm non-religious that I'm not pushing that on anybody. I think everybody has to walk their own journey, and everybody has to figure out what that journey looks like for them, what works for them, what doesn't, what their purpose is, and all that kind of jazz, and what they believe in. My biggest thing though is that when I lived in a lot of different foster homes, I was fortunate enough to experience a lot of different religions. And because of that, I think that really propelled me on my spiritual journey, because I've always been spiritually connected, if that makes sense. Like, I've always been spiritually connected. And it's like I've always had this spiritual element and this spiritual guidance. I just didn't always know what it was, but now that I have more clarity into my spirituality, I realize what all of that shit was happening in hindsight. So my thing with religion and living in so many different foster homes and being able to experience a lot of different religions, for me it just was a lot of contradictions. You know, it was a lot of things that wasn't adding up. And for me, it just always been an issue with the whole third party messenger. Like, why you gotta go through a messenger to get your message from God? I just don't believe in that. I just feel like we are gods in our own right within us. And you can go directly to the source to get your message. Like, God can talk directly to you if you're open to that. You know, if you open that line of communication. Like, if you blocking it, it's blocked. But I feel like whatever you believe in, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, whatever you believe in, you should be able to go directly to the source and have a conversation directly with the source. And if you can't, and if you're only getting your message through a third party person, it's a problem. And even too, like, especially with like a lot of these big mega churches, it's like, especially with these big mega churches, a lot of these big mega churches are politically led. A lot of them are getting so many grants. I remember when I found that out, that just even furthered my spiritual journey too, because it's like, or maybe just further my pull away from religion, because it's like, one, I don't believe in getting my message from a third party. Like, I know my spirit team, I know the universe, I know God, and I know how to go directly to God and have a conversation, you know, and get what I need. So it's just a problem having to go through a, like, you know, this whole notion that you got to go through a third party person to get your message from the source is problematic. And then just kind of finding out how a lot of mega churches literally are being bought out by the government, you know, like, so that they can get these different grants for their churches. It's like, no, well, you can get this grant, but you can't say this in your sermon. Or you can get this grant, but we trying to run this political agenda, so I need you to kind of talk about that. Like, that is like, come on now. So I can't say that I feel like Europeans definitely have done a lot with religion in a negative light and in a manipulative type of light, but I don't really know enough about their spiritual connection with Earth to say. I can't say it's false, but I can't really give you a full opinion on that, because I don't really know what their connection is. But I mean, there do seem to be some differences, but all I could do is walk my journey, okay? And let God and the universe use me in the way that I'm meant to be used while I'm here. Did I miss anybody else? I think I got everybody else's comments. I think I did. Okay, paya y'all. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm gonna eat some cake, honey. It's gonna be delicious. I really wish I could share with you guys, but don't worry, I'm gonna enjoy for all of us, okay? Thank you so much for being here. I know you guys could have been anywhere, but y'all was here with me, and I really honor each and every one of you guys' presence. Even if you're watching the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you for making it to the end, because I know we literally was on live for like 3.5 hours. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna post my next video tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a travel moment of my Afro Brazilian class. I feel like y'all may, I don't think I posted any moments from my Afro Brazilian class here. I have done a few lives on YouTube and things, but this one is a different one because I went, so this week, because I'm going to Rio, girl, I still need to book this flight tonight. So because I'm going to Rio, ooh, and I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. Okay. I feel so good. But because I'm going to Rio, like normally my Afro Brazilian class is on Thursday, but I am flying out on Thursday. So because I'm flying out, I went to a different Afro Brazilian class. It was the same teacher, but it's a different class that was on Monday. It was yesterday. So this girl filmed, and I got all the footage from her, so I'm gonna post that for you guys tomorrow. So be on the lookout. I'm not sure what time, but it's gonna drop tomorrow. So hit the bell so you can be notified. Amen. Amen. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell y'all. I don't think so. I think that's it. I don't think so. I think that's it. Okay, let me get up off here because I'm really cutting up, girl. All right, y'all. It's been real. Thank you so much. I'm sending you all peace and love and abundance, okay? Like an overflow. Amen. Amen. Charlie, I'm about to message you. And everybody else, remember, people will stare. Make it worth their while. Ciao.